what happened to music and all that good stuff? I guess the music did not play or anything like that. Oh, I got the wrong background up. 1 second here. Why do I get that background up? I got that background up. I'm sorry about that. What is it? I have so many of these things. I gotta start deleting them. Are they over here? Or do I go somewhere else to find them? It's ridiculous. How can I not find this background? Sorry about this. I'm sorry about that. I think I gotta go into settings to do it. Jeez. All right, let's go. Where's it at? There we go. All right, there we are. There we are. What's the deal, my people? You know what it is, Don Tony Teflon. I am back with you with another Yellow Jackets live stream theory discussion. We are here to talk about the latest episode and upcoming episodes of this whole situation so that we can get into, again, it's a call-in live stream, 781-990-850. No, that is not, that's Phil's number. Is that Phil's number? It is Phil's number. Let me put my number in there. Because Phil's not here right now. So we could get this call thing. It's just, these things. I should have had this stuff taken care of already. I apologize. I usually do. This is very, very unprofessional. Let's hide it to edit it. That in there. Let's take away Phil's number. There we go. There we go. All right, that's the call-in number. 518-290-0848 is the number to call in. 518-290-0848. And we're here to talk about it. You call me up and let me know what you think about this last episode and the upcoming episode of Yellow Jackets. But right before we get involved, let me say what up to the people who are rocking with us right now. We got Timothy is up in the Holyfield, is up in the building. BC 108 is up in here. Jen is up in here. My man John Haymaker is up in here. Tony is up in here. Good name. I like that name. As I said, John Haymaker is in the building right now, rocking with us. Hale is in the building, rocking with us right now. Jen is up in this piece, rocking with us right now. Let's get this thing popping, man. All right. Real Cinema Theory is up in there. My man KP is in the building as always and stuff, rocking with us and everything. Kizzy Cap is up in here, rocking with us right now. We got a bunch of heads up in here. New is up in here, rocking with us. Amanda is up in here, rocking with us right now. We got a whole bunch of people, man. Appreciate everybody coming up in here and everything else. You know what I mean? So I truly do. All right, let's get right into this topic of the Yellow Jackets. Let's just go through the theories right off the bat. Number one is, let's talk about Lottie. Lottie's death is a pivotal moment in this show and everything else, and someone had to have killed Lottie. So who was the person that actually killed Lottie? Let's go through the facts that we know. All right, you know she died on the steps. We know that there were candles burning on the steps. We got candles on the steps. She died on the steps. We know that we have Shauna's DNA underneath the fingernail, and we know we have a receipt, an actual receipt of Shauna going through the Lincoln Tunnel from Jersey to New York on the same day. It is very easy to say that Shauna did this. In fact, that would be the easiest way out, and she has plenty of reasons to do it. And if the show wanted to go that route and say Shauna did it, to me, it wouldn't be a cop-out, but it would still be not as exciting. I mean, we could say Shauna's a crazy chick, right? She's been crazy from the jump. She always has been this way, you know what I mean? So it's too obvious that they're trying to point the finger to Shauna. It just seems like that's what they want you to believe. That's what they're pointing you. That's going to be Shauna, and it very well might be Shauna. In the end, the only other person that could go that route with the evidence that we have is Shauna's daughter. Right now, Shauna's daughter would have some of the same DNA. Now, and we also see in the clip from the upcoming episode, we see Jeff throwing the phone, right? We see him mad in the trailer. He's throwing the phone down. We all assume that we're talking about that he's found out something about Shauna and he killed Shauna. And he found out something about Shauna, and that is why he's upset. And that's very logical for us to think that's the way, that's how it went. And it seems like that's the way they're going. It does. But in the end, it could be the daughter. The daughter would have the DNA. The daughter could have taken the mom's car and went out there, right? Could have done it. Shauna could understand when she heard the information that something fishy was going on and just accepted the fact that it was her, right? It's so she could be covering for her daughter that she would do it. Again, when you look at the manner of death, the falling down the steps, this is not someone who was shot and stabbed that we know of. It looked more like it could have been an accident. Now, if it's the fact that it could have been an accident, we don't know. It seems like it, but with the candles, it makes you think that something was set up, was planned. Right, we know that's the case, right? So it makes it more interesting if it is her daughter, because then you have the daughter who is now a serial killer, not a serial killer, but a killer, following the footsteps of the mother. And if you need parents to unite about something, and you need parents to come together, you would think that if something happened to their child, then that would be a reason for them to come together. That is, I mean, if you look at the whole, and this has nothing to do with it, but if you look at the whole like John Benet Ramsey situation, a lot of people always said that they thought that maybe Burke had did something. And that is why the parents did this whole rally, because they wanted to save their son. Because if one parent did it over the other, you would think if the father did it over the mother, you would think the mother would turn the father in, or vice versa, right? So it would make sense if she did do it, and that both parents would rally around her, that both parents would be on her side, and that's how she would be able, and that's how she would skate. And she has her reasons; they all have valid reasons, right? As for Ty, who isn't completely out of it, but they did shift the blame away from her purposely, right? They definitely shift the blame away from her. They want you not to think of her. I mean, we know this is evil Ty the whole time, right? Ever since we've seen her this season, we have seen evil Ty this whole time. Would she have gone there and done it? I don't see how that forwards the story to do that. You know what I mean? I think that she more believed in Lottie and everything that Lottie was teaching, because she wanted to save Van. So it'd be easy for her to believe in Lottie and then say, hey, Lottie, give me some advice that I could help this wilderness still save my girlfriend. That seems more plausible than, oh, you don't give me the right answer, and now all of a sudden I'm going to take you out. It just doesn't seem like Ty would do that. So when we go through it, and we'll get to the Antler Queen in a second. KP, can give a chance, brother, a chance to breathe here. You gotta give me a chance to breathe. We going over Lottie's murder. All right, we're going over that first, and then we'll get it all popping right after that. All right. Miss Duncan the Tour, thank you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for sitting there. Miss Duncan the Tour, look at you. I didn't know you liked the yellow jacket. We ain't talking. You of course I do. Because you must not be watching my channel. But Miss Duncan the Tour, I expect to have you on every week when Duncan Egg comes out. Every week, I expect. I need an expert on the books to come on every week with it and everything else, and all that and everything else. We have maybe Lottie wanted to die, self-sacrifice for somebody. I don't know if she wanted to, but maybe maybe she's seen it. You know what I mean? Maybe she's seen it coming, and maybe that's what it was, that she's seen it coming. She knew it was going to happen, so she was cool with it. Beef and Bernie telling KP, simmer down, brother. Simmer. Put that on simmer. You know what I mean? Put that on simmer. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And so Jenna says, my money is on Melissa. You can't change my mind. If you're saying that kill Lottie, Melissa could have done it. Is a good possibility, but it doesn't explain away the DNA under her fingernails. Now, they told us about the DNA under her fingernails for a reason, right? And they said that it was defensive, right? Under the fingernails, right? So it doesn't explain that away if it was Melissa, unless they were there together. Now we know Shauna wasn't there with them, and they haven't even shown Melissa yet. So I could definitely see it being Melissa, but it doesn't explain away the DNA. And I think they gave us that DNA clue for a reason. When you look at the DNA, it only matches to 2 people. It's just Shauna and her daughter, you know, with the chain and everything else, with you know, Lottie trying to take out Shauna. There's good reason for both of them to want to take this lady out, and a good chance that one of them may have done it in the end. You know what I mean? So I got it. You know, I lean towards the daughter. I think that's the better storyline, because they're trying to make it too obvious that it was Shauna. They're really, and I wouldn't have leaned that way, but they're really pushing it that it's going to be her. Now, is she this type of murderer that she would just go around killing Lottie, get upset and do it? Of course, we've seen her get upset and stab a dude before. We've seen her get upset. You know what I mean? I just hope that at one point, and my man Phil is here, thank God, bailing me out as always. I just hope that at one point during this show, before it's over, Shauna goes back and she has her not little kid, a teenage voice, because the lady who is playing Shauna, who plays her as a young, the voice is so different than the adult voice. Now she's got this Marilyn Monroe-esque voice, this whispery voice, this voice. I want her to get mad and talk in her regular voice like this young chick and everything else, like the young one did and everything else. Tommy says, could Melissa have gotten Shauna's DNA and stuck it underneath Lottie's fingernail? How would she do that? You know what I mean? It's under the fingernail. Could she have gotten the DNA if it was some hair strands and all that? 100%. But the fact that they said it was defensive, it was under the fingernail, it makes you think that it's some type of skin that was there. Have we seen the daughter's arms or a part of her body where we can see some scratch marks? Because I see nothing on Shauna. If the daughter has been wearing long sleeve shit, right, in these episodes, then we have our proof right there. You know, that's what we have right there. Amanda says, what if Walter is Melissa's kid, or as a relative, would make it easier to keep tabs on them, since Walter talks about the girl. So I think he's too old to be Melissa's child, number one. Relative, if you want to say that, we can go that. But as for being a child, he's way too old for that. I mean, she would have had that kid as soon as she got back. Walter seems like he's the same age as everybody else, if not older, you know, than all of them. So I can't see that. But family member, quite possibly. Beef and Bernadette says, Shauna is so unlikely, the voice and noise. I would just like to hear Go Buck. You know, you've heard like Michael Jackson, like maybe y'all haven't heard Michael Jackson's real voice. Like he slipped up a couple of times. You can hear Michael Jackson's real voice. So I like to see that for Shauna, like the real voice of Shauna. You know, like to pull that out there. What's going on? The daughter,
he was accepting an award in an award show, and he's like, "Hi, this is Michael," and he like corrects himself. He's like, "Excuse me, sorry. Hi, this is Michael." He totally changed his voice, and I agree. She's sort of putting on the happy homemaker kind of voice situation. Onto something that the other call said. My first thought was that someone maybe planted her DNA, but it's a good point. Like it's it's not that someone couldn't get her DNA, especially someone that knew her from the island, but it's hard to imagine that they put it under her fingernails. That being said, I also think it's a little obvious if Shauna's the one that killed him. Every time we've seen Shauna act like a psycho, we've seen it. We've actually seen it with our own eyes. And I don't think that would necessarily change. I think if she wanted to kill Lottie, she would have killed her in her own house. Like where she left, she would have stabbed her in the throat or something like that. She wouldn't have gone and pushed her down a flight of stairs. I just don't think that's Shauna's style. So maybe it was what she said, you know, she just had her DNA because she was in her house or something. Who knows that? But I personally don't think Shauna was the one. I think what you were saying about the daughter makes a lot more sense sensibly, but I think Shauna, if Shauna's gonna kill you, she's gonna look you in the eye, she's gonna stab you. You know, it's not just gonna be like a push down a flight of stairs, Tony. I think
everything we've seen from Shauna has been straight up, right? So now all of a sudden they want to do the mystery about who Shauna killed. They didn't have it no mystery before about who Shauna killed when she killed the dude. They were, oh, this is Javi, and she killed him. It wasn't.
Shauna likes to leave a scene.
It was just a regular guy. She just took him out and everything else. You know what I mean? Like a bloody scene.
Shauna likes a bloody scene. Complete side note, stupid thing for the 3 or 4 people, including myself, that are actually Survivor and YELLOWJACKETS fans. They put out an amazing promo. I wish we could show it, but of course, you know, we can't flag shit will get flagged and all that sort of stuff. But they did a Survivor combo YELLOWJACKETS promo. I'll send you the link if you haven't seen it, Tony.
I have seen it.
Oh, it's freaking hilarious. It's like the best commercial I've ever seen. Like, as a Survivor fan and a YELLOWJACKETS fan, it's like the most perfect thing in the world.
It's a great promo. It's 2 things that go together. So it works together with them, you know.
And it shows how sort of they know their audience, Tony, who gets voted off the island at the end. Shauna. If anyone doesn't know, they voted Shauna off the island.
I think she knows that everyone hates her. I think she plays it for everyone to hate her. I don't think that anyone can say I'm a fan of Shauna. I don't think that's the role she's playing. I don't think that's the role she wants to play. I think everyone in here, you have to hate Shauna. It's everybody hates Shauna. That's what they're going for and everything else, you know, and for that, she's doing a great job, this actress. She's doing a great job of making people hate her and everything. And, you know, jumping off bridges and shit with people. And then after you jumping off bridges, you killing people and all this. You should be happy somebody like you. You could have been happy. But I think that, you know, that there was too much, it's got too much guilt. And you know, does this stuff trickle down even when you don't expect it to trickle down? Like when you have this type of pain inside of you, does it affect your children even when you don't think it, when you're doing your best to hide it, even though it doesn't? And it would be ironic if something like that happened to the daughter. Like, even though the daughter doesn't know exactly what happened, Shauna subconsciously transferred all this pain and all this other stuff onto her. And that's why she's dead. Yeah, I miss Juliette Lewis too. I wish she didn't leave the show.
Yeah, me too.
I really wish she didn't leave the show. She should have stayed. 100%.
And to your point about the 2 different Shaunas, both Shaunas are playing different kind of hateable characters. One other thing about at least young Shauna, for the most part, we've seen her get her hands dirty, but I also think what gets young Shauna off is making other people do evil things for her, like breaking down other people, fucking with their minds, showing that she's the queen frog of them all, that she's the boss, making young Nat cut up Coach, you know, making Melissa be the one that's her sort of Luca Brasi in that situation, the one that commits the violence. So I think we've seen more cases of Shauna manipulating other people into doing horrible things rather than Shauna getting her hands dirty directly. She likes to kind of stand back and watch the bloody scene that she creates. She does get her hands dirty as well when she needs to, but she's also very much a manipulator. And could she indirectly, to your point, indirectly manipulate her daughter without realizing it? I mean, what we've seen about her daughter's relationship with Lottie is, as far as we know, the daughter loved Lottie and had a good vibe with her and all that sort of stuff. So she would have no necessary, unless I'm missing something.
That could be game. It could have all been game. Right. She could have did that to gain Lottie's trust, but in the back of her head the whole time she was trying to take her out.
Very possible.
Did that. Let's braid our hair together. Let's do all this stuff. Let's be girlfriends. Let's go on this, shopping trip where you just steal stuff and everything else just for the hell of it. And in the end, she was just doing it just to kill him. Because Lottie was like saying, like before she died, she was like saying sorry, like she was practicing it, like to say sorry about something. Who would she say? Yeah, who would she say sorry to? Who was she practicing this for? Was she practicing this for the daughter? Like, I'm sorry that all this stuff happened and stuff, and this is what it is, and because she is the one in the end who set this whole bitch off is Lottie. She ain't innocent. I mean, when you go down to it, she put the hatchet to this dude's head and started licking his brains. Like, she ain't have to do that. She didn't have to do that. She's
cuckoo kanuku. She's a little loco in her cocoa. That was the most unnecessary. Like, you said it in your review, and you said it better than I could say it. But that was just cuckoo cabanas. Like, come on, like they're at a point right when when they walked up on them when we got our frog ripping up, like walking up there and stuff like that. We got our damn froggers walking up there. Like, the coach's head's chopped off. They're hanging out there. That's still explainable.
Yes,
Coach died. We ate him. We're having some sort of weird celebration. You there's a book, maybe, a movie of the week, like Alive with the kids, with the people eating in the Andes, whatever. There's that, Tony. But ultimately, they don't go to jail for murder. But this is like a hatchet job to the back of the head. Like, it's what Joe wants to do to the zombies, like knife to the back of the head. Like, that's just dumbass. And the way she did it was so Norman Bates. I mean, it was beautiful. That was. These 2 hours, Tony, of this show has been good, but I'm not hyperbolic or not too much in the moment to say that these last 2 episodes have been my favorite 2 episodes of Yellowjackets. This show has really sort of figured out its voice of dark comedy mixed with sort of insane human decisions based on, like, you said it in your video, and if everyone hasn't watched Tony's breakdown of last episode, check it out. But like with the way that they're interpreting the frog sounds based on the thing and how that all sort of informs everything, Tony, like they think it's the nature talking to them, but it's it's really just like, we're on the Dharma Initiative, like Frog Island and stuff.
It's Kermit with Miss Piggy up in this, like, these frogs is having an orgy. But again, when you're taking mushrooms, when you're inhaling these gases, when you're doing all this, when you're in the wilderness and you don't know what it is, and people are just, you could think shit is something that it normally isn't. And that's probably what happened to him. Like, oh my God. I mean, it doesn't explain Coach talking to himself. Like, I don't know who the hell Coach was talking to, but he could just be crazy too. You know what I mean? It could be just the cave and everything on LSD and all this stuff or whatever they on that gets him. The Real Rebel, thank you for the super chat. He says, I love to stick around, but I do not want to be spoiled on episode 3, season 3. This show was tremendously nuts. I'll have a deeper opinion next stream. All right, my brother. Thank you for the super chat, man. And then we'll see you next stream. I don't want to spoil you. I don't want you to get everybody hit that thumbs up for your boys in here. You know what I mean? When you weigh in, hit the thumbs up and everything else. Let's get it pop. All right. Frog orgy. Phil, didn't see the frog orgy coming. Didn't see it coming. How but that pause on the comment part. I didn't see the frog orgy.
No, I hope the frogs are coming. I mean, if there's an orgy, I mean, what's the point?
Wait 7 years to do that, something like that, right?
Exactly. If you're waiting, if you're edging yourself for 7 years, like Miss Piggy with Kermit, why are there so many songs about it? Like, you better be coming at the end of the. I'm sorry, but yes, I think that was really cool the way that all came together. I think you said this as well in your video, and it's something I missed when I watched, like, the little subtle to explain why the hot cocoa packets are there, or why other supplies are there, because there's been other frog teams studying the frog fucking in different times. Sorry about the visual presentation. Every time I say frog fucking, I have to pick up one of these frogs. I can't explain it. It's a bad habit, but I do think it's kind of neat the way they've integrated that, because I do think that perception is everything in this situation. If you're stuck on an island and trapped there and you hear all sorts of sounds, you're going to interpret those sounds in different ways. I love how they visually showed us. The beginning of this episode was really awesome, doing the 3 days in the past thing and kind of seeing the frogs make the noises that we're hearing from a different angle. I thought that was really cool. It's very Lost, like the tailies, like when we see everything from the opposite perspective. enjoy that stuff when you can kind of get a more wider angle look at the island. I just thought it was. I thought the frog stuff was really cool in the sense of adding that perception, Tony.
Yeah, I think that they did good to flesh it out, and no one's seen it coming. Like it explains exactly where the voices come from, and there's no one that could have ever predicted that. What are those voices out there? Oh, they're just frog hearing frogs
fucking.
Yeah, no. If anyone got the frog fucking, I have to call cap on that you didn't see these episodes early, because if someone came out early with that and some theory like, I always thought that the wilderness sounds were just frogs, fucking banshee frogs that were made up. They're not real.
Tony, if there's some random YouTube channel called like frog fucking on Yellow Jackets that popped up at the beginning of the season, that dude got a leak.
He knew something. The man knew
that
something.
Wasn't on our bingo board. We were at Yellow Jackets bingo board this year. Frog fucking was not there.
Yeah, they ain't no way that got like that. You know what I mean, and everything else. But yeah, and all that. So in the end, I think there's no establishment on who might have killed Lottie, obviously, but I do think that the most likely of the suspects here is the daughter. Right now, from everything that we've seen, that she would be the most likely suspect in my mind, and the best for the show that it's her. So if people have picked her before, then I think that you're going to be right on that and everything.
I guess I'll go with
Jenna. You're leaving already. Sorry about that, Jenna. I wish you would have stayed. Said bye. Thanks. It's like that.
Just to be a contrarian, I guess I'll pick Hillary Swank. I'll say Hillary Swank killed her.
All right, Melissa or whoever you think Hillary.
I know. I agree with you. I think it's Melissa, but
all right, so Melissa. It could be Melissa. I think it's Melissa killed her, but it doesn't. It doesn't explain the DNA under the fingernails.
Yeah.
Unless, all right, the only way it works.
She stole her fingerprint.
Is it Melissa Hillary Swank we're talking about? We believe it's Melissa. Pushed her down the steps. And then Shauna came, walked in on the scene. Lottie reached out to her and scratched her, trying to hold her because she wasn't dead yet. And then that's how it gets underneath the fingernails. That's the only plausible way I could see that happening. So she gets pushed down the stairs. Maybe she didn't even want to kill her, because pushing down the stairs is not guaranteed to kill anybody. Believe me, I know my brother threw one of my friends, actually. My brother threw a guy who's still my friend down 3 flights of steps head first, and he didn't die. All right. And city steps, concrete, and he's still alive and kicking. So going down the steps is not guaranteed that you're going to die. So it could have been an accident that turned into that, but the candles do make it look like it was a setup on that day. But either, the only way it explains it is she wasn't dead yet. Shauna shows up, or the daughter. And then when the Shauna and the daughter show up at that particular time, she reaches up and touches them, winds up scratching them, and then they get nervous and they leave and stuff. They'll just left me hanging here for a second, and I got all big on the screen. I know y'all don't want to see me dying big on the screen like that, so we'll pull them back a little bit for you and everything else. Let's go through some of these comments real quick. Who Hillary Swank going to be as an adult? Hannah as a kid? Again, I believe that Hillary Swank is Melissa. I've been saying this from day one that it's Melissa. I've been taking a lot of slack on that. Phil is back. I've been taking a lot of slack on that. But in the end, when you look at the whole situation and everything else, and the synopsis of this episode, you can watch it has to be her. If it's not her, it would be very shocking. The character Melissa has gotten a lot of screen time for some reason. Like, and when they want to build you up, like say it's going to be one of the other Yellow Jackets, right? The only other Yellow Jacket that is 32 likes. Can we get those likes up, man? We got over 60 people up in here. Let's try to get those likes up. If we get more people in here to call in and speak to all of us and stuff, if you hit those likes, so come on, hit those likes. It doesn't cost you a thing to do that. They give you stuff in shows, your character, to care about the character, right? They give you these things so you know who the character is. If it is one of the other girls that have not gotten a prominent enough role, except for the black girl who I always forget her name.
The psychic, the one that has dreams and stuff like that.
Yeah, they haven't given anyone else a prominent enough role to justify it being them. Then you have to start looking at why they would do it. Why would they want to set her up? Well, it's easy. You see, and this chick was in love with Shauna. She was like, oh, they all treated you like shit. Jackie treated you like shit, and your husband, my husband now, acting like you were just a booty call, basically. But I love you, for who the person you became. And Shauna gets back, and she's like, I was just gay for the stay. I'm not gay. She's not Van and Ty. She gay for the stay. She gay just there while she was there on the island. She was locked up. And now she's out and everything else. And and this girl probably felt butthurt about it.
There also has to be a reason why they think she's dead for some reason too, and we don't know.
She don't think she's dead. If you look at that shot when she says it, and I should have stuck it in the video, but the video was running long, and I was gonna. But if you look at the shot when they say she's dead, look at the actress who plays Shauna. Look at it, and I guarantee you will see Shauna's eye twitch, and then she looks over when she says, yes, she's dead. She looks over real quick, and then her lip goes right up.
I think the biggest...
She knows she ain't dead. They all think she's dead, but she knows she ain't dead.
And for many of those reasons, that you're absolutely right about why it's going to be her. And I think the other big reason is it's the most drama for the next episode. Like if Shauna's showing up somewhere to go confront somebody and talk to somebody, and we're going to have an interaction, who else would she be going to talk to that would have as big of a bang other than that character that we've seen her have a relationship with all season? It's the only person that makes sense for this next episode, that she's got to leave, got to ditch all the other girls, to your point right there, that all the other girls don't know she's alive, have to ditch all the other girls to go meet up with this girl. And she was freaking out the whole ride up there because she's like, oh, the girls jumped in the car with me, so I have to friggin' explain this all to them. So the perfect opportunity to drop them off at the hospital and ditch them in that situation. Who would she be going to see? It only really makes sense. And to expand on what you were saying, from the characters that we've seen more of this season, it's like in From, when we see a character twice in an episode, next episode she's standing by a window and gets killed so we can give a shit about her for 1 second. Like you don't see that character before, you don't see that character after. We've learned more about a character this season. That's who Hillary's going to be, and that's why it makes sense to be Melissa.
Yeah, that's the only reason why they give them the spotlight, is for that reason, right? You only give them the spotlight so that when you see them when they're older, you're like, oh, this is it. If it's not going to be Mari, because she's got her own thing going on here with Pit Girl, if that's going to be the case with her, that's going to be the end of her. But it wouldn't be her. Hilary Swank is that chick is, she's Latino in essence. So it just wouldn't work from Hilary Swank to be that person. What up, man, Drell? Glad to see you up in here and everything else. And so it's gonna be her. Bet your bottom dollar on this. I'm trying to tell you, trust me, that take it to the bank. That's the way it's gonna go down. It's her, and she's going, but then you have to ask why. And we also know that Hannah, the captured lady, they said that Melissa got close to her. Like Melissa was cool with her. And again, as I said in the video, and Phil and all you ladies in the chat and everything else with Phil, this lady's whole play, Hannah, she gave herself up. They didn't find her. She was laid up in the tree. She buried the thing and she gave herself up. And I think her whole play is, I'm going to be a mother to these girls, because these girls were, when Van got that telephone, the first thing out of Van's mouth was, I want to call my mother. When she seen that telephone, every girl, young girl, whatever, doesn't matter if you're young or whatever. Like, I remember my kid's mom, when she was going having our child, she was screaming, "Mom, Mom!" That's what she was screaming. She wanted her mother there. She didn't want me there. She wanted her mother there. Every daughter wants their mother, and they want a mother figure around them when it's all said and done. These kids are lacking a mother, these girls. They need a mom. And I think that she's going to try to come up with, I'm going to be that mom figure for them. And that's what's going to save my life, because she probably feels bad for them, that they've been stranded out here and look what they've become, and they're a whole bunch of little girls. And that's what I think her role that she's going to try. What do you think?
It's yet to be determined if she's doing it out of a sense of empathy, of feeling for them, or is doing it as a survival instinct of a way of thinking, oh wait, these are all, you know, a bunch of high school girls that have been trapped. I can manipulate them in some way, you know, by being an authority figure, by being, you know, in control, by sort of, you know, being the head of there, you know, trying to or be leader in this situation and have them all connect. I do think it's interesting that they did let out that piece of information about how she got along with Melissa, because everything we know about Shauna, we know that Shauna doesn't share adulation, doesn't share respect. So if her girl is into somebody else, even just like thinking she's cool and stuff, that's going to turn a big crazy situation. That could answer all of our questions right now about how this turned into a sort of hate, you know, the negative thing that happens. Maybe, I know people want to say maybe Hillary Swank's the daughter, maybe there's some revenge thing going on, maybe it's revenge for Melissa for something Shauna did to Hannah. Who knows? You know, it could be something like that too, that Melissa wanted to say she was dead and decided to like say fuck you to everybody because they ended up turning on Hannah. You know, Lottie and Shauna do something fucking crazy by the end of the season to Hannah. Like who knows?
It would be Shauna. I think Shauna would be the one, because if it's personal and and they said she connected with her, then Shauna all of a sudden takes her out and kills her.
Yeah, or
then
something.
She's never going to look at Shauna the same again. Like, why did you do this to this woman? This woman has a child.
Especially to your point, Tony, about the mothering thing, but whether mother or nursemaid, we might get a little Florence Nightingale syndrome, where isn't Melissa's hurt right now, right? She got shot with the arrow.
Yeah.
So Hannah can sort of take care of her and nurse her back to health. That's a good way of sort of illustrating, sort of integrating herself into her, and sort of combining with her and sort of bonding themselves to each other. So I think that will be what we'll see with Hannah coming up in the next couple of episodes, is taking care and nursing Melissa back to health, and that will sort of form that connection.
Yeah, again, when you have an older lady around, and again, these are teenagers who are supposed to be high school seniors, I would say, some of them, and some of them look a little bit younger than that.
Yeah, juniors and seniors probably.
You know, it's easy for someone, especially you know, their team, right? They're used to being in a team situation where there's a leader of the team and everything else, right? They're used to having that, and they don't have that, right? Again, when you look at the story that the guy told about the toad and Zeus, right? And the frogs wanted the king, and Zeus threw a log in there for them. And first they were afraid of the log, but they said the log was too boring. So they wanted a new king, and then the Zeus put a stork in there, and they got their king, but the stork started eating them, right? So the moral of the story is, you know, sometimes you get what you ask for, and it's not what you want, right? And it could be a situation that they've had that they had their king and Natalie, their log, and Natalie was undecisive and she was boring, so they went with Shauna, someone who's a stork, who in the end may start eating them, or killing, not just eating them physically, but killing them off. It was like the stork did to save themselves and everything. So maybe they're done with that and they want to go back to you know, a log, who would be a rock, I would say. Not even a log, you would say this chick would be a rock. This is someone to hug you when you have a mother figure like that. Someone to hug you, someone to hold you, someone to rub your back and say, baby, it's going to be okay. There's no feeling like that when you get that from your mother. Right? There's no better feeling in the world. There's no more feeling of comfort, no matter what you're going through, that when you have your mom rub your back and tell you it's going to be all right. They don't get that from each other. You can't get that from each other. There's no one there. You have to get that from someone who's older and stuff. So I think that Hannah wedges in right there with that. And I think that eventually that it's going to be this Shauna who kills her for whatever reason. But I also think it's a good chance that if she truly wants to integrate herself, she might have to kill Kodyak. Now,
he's fucking dying. Like, first of all, Tony, like, I love Joel McHale. I'm a Community fan. I think he was a great host of House of Villains. I mean, he's been in a lot of great stuff.
He's on the Bear, isn't he? On the Bear.
He plays the asshole chef. I don't buy him in this character playing like a tough guy thing. He's a comedian playing it. It's almost like I imagine like Ben Stiller playing like over the top like Ben Stiller's character in that movie Heavyweights or something. Like it's hard for me to take him seriously in this role because I look at him as more of a comedian. I know he can do drama. He's a good actor, but something about his performance here is taking me out. It's almost like when he showed up on Sons of Anarchy, it's just like he seems to be there because he likes the show and it's Joel McHale, so they wrote him in. I don't know. I can't. I'm not saying that.
He don't look like the tough. They tried to scar him up and shit.
He's great. I mean? I just want to say I really love Joel McHale. I think he's fucking hilarious. I think he's a great actor. But I just he's taking me out because it's Joel McHale.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can't put George Costanza here, right?
Yeah, dude. I can't. Good point. I can't rewatch Pretty Woman and watch George Costanza as the bad tough guy that's slapping Julia Roberts. I'm like, that's George Costanza. George.
You can't buy it anymore. It's like you had me before. You can't buy it anymore.
You can't do it anymore, George.
That's it. You can't have Cosmo Kramer out there all of a sudden. You know what I mean? And he's up in there, and now he's this tough roughneck and stuff.
No
one's gonna believe you. It just doesn't work. So that's the problem. Do you think that now? It's twofolds here, right? His name is Kodyak. Don't believe that's his name. If that is his name, someone told me that's a common name in Canada. We know Kodyak is also a bear, right? And Shorty did get the vision about the bear with 3 eyes in it. That had the bear with 3 eyes in there and stuff. So I would have to assume that bear with 3 eyes is Kodyak the bear. So we have to figure that. But you think it's also because he's on the show, The Bear?
It might be a little side reference to that, like because he's the evil chef on the.
They had him cooking. They have him cooking on there too.
But Tony, don't you just think to use Star Trek isms, don't you think he's just a red shirt villain sort of that's been, or red shirt maybe villain, maybe not, that she's been introduced as fodder for someone to kill by the end of the season? Like there's no way he's lasting. What are we on, episode 8, 9, 10? He's not lasting 3 episodes. That dude's dead as disco. That dude's dead.
I said the only chance I think he can do it is if somehow he got with the other guy, Trav. And he said, "Listen, brother, we can have them all.
Trav is so
have it all. We could get all these chicks for ourselves.
You're barking up the wrong tree."
That's something I could see him. I could see him trying. If he was able to run that with Travis somehow and got these chicks high and said, "Listen, these chicks are young. They're young girls, very young. I'm sure none of them has been with a grown man." And that can be mind-blowing for a young chick to get with a man who maybe know what he's doing in the sack. And that's always a factor in the end. I don't know if they're going to go that route. They did have the frog orgy, right? We did see them go after Travis like that for a little while. So they was horny like that before. So it's not like, oh, Tony Teflon, you're just making something out of it. We seen them go after Travis like that. They was about it at one point, right? If he can get him back into that mentality, would be the only way I could see him surviving for a little bit. I can't see him surviving but that would be what he would have to do. He would have to if he was there. He should just drop his pants straight up and say, "I'm ready, ladies," and just call it a day, and just put the ballpark, put it out there. You know what I mean? That's what you got to do in that situation. That's what
take him out to the ball game. No, that dude is so dead that I'm like watching dead men walking on the Yellow Jackets Island. Like that dude is so dead. It's just a matter of who. I think it's like just death pool of who's going to be the one to actually fucking kill him, and I think it's going to be Hannah, like you said, to integrate herself into the group.
They may make it because again. So let's go through it. When Lottie took over the group, she killed the bear basically. She went outside, she stabbed the bear in the top of the head, killed the bear, and that's what cemented Lottie as the head of the group. Maybe it's another ritual like that goes down. Like if Hannah, if you're one of us and you're down with us, we have another bear. This is the other bear that we're going to go through right now. And you need to kill this bear, Kodyak, in order to do it.
Yeah. I think Lottie is the type of person to put that kind of, was it like that kind of sting on somebody, like do this or else.
Yeah, well, if you're one of us, if you're really going to be down with us, you kill the bear. Like I had to kill the bear. You kill the bear. This bear's Kodyak. Why else would they save him? Listen, the bottom line, he said, don't waste your bullets. Right? Like he's just gonna this let him drive it. You
fucking Rambo. Fucking Rambo over there from the talk soup Rambo over there. Like I love you again. I love you, Joel McHale, but I don't buy you as a tough guy. I don't fucking buy you as a tough guy, dude.
Yeah, that's no doubt like from Randall with the little pocket knife. You want to dance?
I ain't got time to bleed, Tony. I ain't got time to bleed.
With these people, it just don't work.
I can't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't play a tough guy. Fuck that shit. Like if I'm a decent actor playing a comic asshole, but like I can't sit. I'm not like the Walking David. I can't play a tough guy. I can't do that shit.
So I think that's how he goes out. I think that because why'd they bring him back? They just wanted to kill him, let him fall off the cliff. He's dead. Done deal. You bring him back to kill him dramatically, right? So it has to be something like if he just wanted to die, boom, he's dead. Just like that. Let him drop off, boom, it's over. But they brought him back for a reason. The only other reason I can see, and the fact that they had the vision about the bear, he is the bear. His name is a bear. That Lottie killed the bear already to gain leadership. That this is what happens again.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef. I'm convinced. You've convinced me about the bear thing. That the chef's going to come out. They're going to go, yes, chef, and they're going to prepare him. I think they brought him back for a special celebration, a 5-star meal, or they brought him back for some sort of, to sacrifice him.
They like eating men. Let's be real about it. I mean, when it comes down to it, yes, did they eat Jackie? Yes, they ate Jackie, right? They had, but they enjoy eating men. It's the men that the hobby and eat. Anyone you want to think of that they've eaten, they've enjoyed eating them.
Coach must have tasted extra good because he's been eating those hot chocolate packets and stuff. Like,
yeah,
like he's like, he's got extra sugar in those. And I know I'm freaking gross, but this show is gross, dark comedy, gross. And we were talking about this earlier. I just wanted to mention something. I don't think Elijah Wood has anything to do with anything other than just being exactly what he seems to be. I think he is just a Reddit dude obsessed with Misty. Or that got into that situation and connected to this case and supposed to sort of symbolize the fans that are into it and kind of looking at all the fan theories and sort of outside but inside and showing the respect and the connection that they have with the audience. And somebody else asked in the audience, who's the last one standing? I'll say it again. I said it last week. Tony mentioned jail for some of these girls at the end. Maybe that could be the case. The only one that nothing bad's going to happen to, the series is going to end with Misty free and easy, whistling, walking down the street. Nothing is happening to Misty. And I'm going to die on that hill, Tony. The series ends with Misty is the only one that gets a happy ending of any sort of situation.
I think you could be right on that. She seems like the person that would make it out of this whole situation. It's the one who was always looked down upon, the one that never had a place, the one that they're not her real friends and they just front like they are. She's the one who gets away with it all and everything. If you want to say get away with it, because in all honesty, she had nothing to do with the murder of the coach. That got nothing. Mitzi got no blood on her hands for that.
Just Natalie, but that was accidental.
Yeah, she has nothing to do with the murder of the Frogger dude. She's got nothing to do with that. The only one we need to see blood on Shauna's head. Now we already see it in the adult version of Shauna that she has blood on her hands, but we need to see the blood on her hands and her killing Hillary. Hillary Swank, and I'm just keep now you got me thinking Hillary Swank, but Missy's kill was accidental. She shouldn't get you know,
Yeah,
she didn't mean
the Juliette Lewis kill, I think,
yeah,
was like
that wasn't, you can't say that that's a killer move. So, you know, she wasn't trying to go out there and take her out at the time and everything. So I think you're right. I think that she walk away. Shauna's going to jail forever. And she's just going to be her quirky self while she's getting locked up.
it's and then we'll get a transition into an Orange is the New Black sequel. And I do think that Misty, again, I think Misty winning, or Misty and Elijah Wood toasting some tea, like at the end of it all, is like the best dark comedy ending too. Like I'm not saying Misty is like a good person. I just think there's some way that she's gonna sort of just and then everyone's in jail, everyone's in their place, and then she's gonna like toast tea with Elijah Wood, and that's gonna be like our final shot of the entire series.
Yeah, yes, Jenna Johnson. Yes, you're correct. She was trying to kill someone. Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
She was. Leave Misty alone. Leave Misty
alone. No doubt. No doubt.
My voice cracked on that one. Leave Wednesday Addams alone. Come on. She's perfect.
Did she stick fentanyl inside of things and try to get people? Yeah, I mean, listen, hey.
I can fix her, Tony. I can fix her.
Kodyak thinks he can fix him too. I think that's his play, Phil. I'm telling you, that's the Kodyak's play. He's got to run it. That's the only play you got. And if it don't work, it don't work. Obviously, they set him up to be like a good-looking guy because you have Hannah was drooling over this dude, basically. You know what I mean? With the little play fight inside the whole. And I heard someone try to say, like, in my comment section that, oh, Kodyak did that on purpose to break the phone. He had nothing to do with breaking the phone. He didn't set that up, and it wasn't him. If it was him that broke the phone, then I could see you saying yes, but it was Hannah who broke the phone.
Yeah, or it was accidental, or like no one really broke the phone, or like I don't think.
She didn't mean to do it. Yeah, he's on that. He just wanted to fuck her. That's what he wanted. He wanted to hit it. That's why he did the hard once with it once. And he knew her man was a herb, and he's looking at her man. He's a herb and shit like that. So he's like, man, I can get this done. I can get this done out here. And I think that's what he was thinking more than anything. That's why I'm thinking that he is what it is. As Tommy, is that Tammy? Sorry, Tammy says Kodyak will not die right away. He knows the wilderness, but the fact that he brought the wilderness in play, right, makes me think that, because he said that right off the bat, makes me think that the wilderness is what's going to take him, because these girls all believe in the wilderness and everything else.
I do think he will elude them for a while. That's why I said over the course of the next 3 episodes, that will probably be a big part of the on island thing, like him trying to charm them, him trying to sort of connect, and then him escaping, maybe kidnapping somebody, you know, and then running away, and then them hunting them down, murdering him for the island, or as Tony was saying, maybe somehow nature abandons him, you know, it sides with Lottie or sides with Shauna, or I tend to think what we were saying earlier, that somehow he brings Hannah to him for trust, like thinking he can trust her to talk to her, and she slits his neck or something like that.
She's got to do it. I think that's because you see him in the trailer that he's locked up on one of the chairs. They got him tied up on the chair.
Okay, I didn't see the trailer. So they do. So last time we see him at the end of last episode, he's brought in. So you see him. They bring
him in. They all surround him. All the girls come out of the woods like children of the corn and shit and surround him. And I do believe they'll take him from there. They'll lock him up. They'll tie him on the chair, and now he's on the chair, and that's it. So. As for getting away, I don't know how he's going to get away. Anything else? The bottom line is this:
Tammy's right, though.
They can't be too far from civilization if these people were out there. No matter, all you got to do is pick a direction and walk. You're going to hit something eventually. You're not going, just pick east or west and just go that direction, and you're going to get somewhere. These people walked up on them, which is crazy. That these.
My question is, Tony, that's a good question. How did they actually get there? Either there's a airport or a base of some sort in walking distance? Were they helicoptered in? Is there a boat port? Like they had to get there somehow from somewhere. Something they didn't just magically appear from the ground. Like something had to drop. They didn't to do the Rambo thing. They didn't just parachute in like Rambo. They didn't just like run a plane over there. They're like parachute down to go frog studying. No, they had to land somewhere or come
other
in on
people
a boat
been there
somewhere.
before.
Exactly. So there's a landing.
Long enough to dig that big ass ditch and stick that whole big ass crate
There's a
down
landing
there.
pad somewhere or something. I'll be right back.
There's something out there. There's something over there that it shouldn't have been as hard as it is right now for them to find their way out. But I guess that's just we wouldn't have a show if that wasn't the case. So it has to be something else going on there and everything else, you know, and all that. Jenna says, I'm thinking showing the 3 days also tells you that they're a 3-day hike from civilization. I think that's a good get, Jenna. I think that could be it. They're 3 days away. 3 days away is not far for hiking. I mean, I've watched race competitions. You know, I can't think of the names now, but race competitions where it's, you know, when you race for 12 hours and it gets dark and you got to set up a tent. I forgot what it's called. You got to set up a tent. It's you and someone else, and you get to go to the next. And they've gotten through stuff and less, you know, everything else. Still got mine and all that. So yeah, as Jenna says, Phil, that the fact that they showed 3 days on the thing, she believes that that means they're about 3 days from civilization.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, essentially, they have to either be within hiking distance, within something. So that has to be the first questions. Like, how'd you guys? I mean, that's the first answers I want. How far are we from civilization?
Yeah, they're over here. What time is it? Did Mulder get with Scully?
I don't need X-Files like conclusions to see if the what if, the greatest what if of the 90s happened. I don't care.
It just shows you how big of a nerd Van is. Like that's just like shows you like Van is the biggest nerd of them all. You know, that's just what it is. That's what she. No, it wasn't The Amazing Race. It's a better show than The Amazing Race. It's like this show I watched. I've watched. There's two seasons of it. One's I think is in New Zealand, and one is somewhere else. I think it's on Peacock. But it's there's a group of people and teams of 2, and you get a map. And
is it called Hunted?
No. You get a map. And you have to go through this whole terrain. You have no GPS. You have no nothing. You got to be able to read the map. And then you get like a halfway point. There's like a food embargo or something there. And then you finally reach it. And when you reach it, you have to survive at camp, whatever supplies you have for 3 days before the next race starts.
I don't want to break this into a whole reality thing, but Tony, have you ever watched Hunted?
I don't think. Yes, I watched one episode, but I never finished it.
Yeah,
it's with Bear Grylls, right?
Yeah, it's like you're on the run and they give you a few days and then they have like the FBI like technology or whatever that has to trace you and you have to survive. I think it's like 100 days or 30 days or something without them finding you. And it's like and it shows you from both perspectives, like the people running on the run, like on a prison break, and the people, and then the.
I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen one with Bear Grylls where if he catches you or something like that, you go into the bear pit. Maybe that's
no. This one is more. If I'm saying I might get in the wrong. And this one is like they're all like ex-FBI and CIA dudes, and they're all sort of like hunting you down using modern technology, and you have to sort of get off the grid and hide for 30 days. And if you hide for 30 days, you win the $100,000 or something like that.
Well, they would never catch me. They would never.
Dude, it's awesome. It's fucking. I remember being awesome.
What channel was that on, Hunter?
I'll remind you. I'll text you after the show.
They'd never catch. It's like enemy of the state. That's like an enemy of the state situation. They'd never catch me.
It's fun. It's fun, dude.
I mean, I got Amish friends, bro. They ain't catching me.
That's what some people do. Like these 2 dudes, I remember they just like went down and like started just like canoeing down a random disgusting river in the middle of like they're just like slowly going down there, and they just went there for like 29 days. And on the last day, they're like, you know what? We're almost there. Let's go to town. And like they went to town like idiots, and they got busted the day they went into town. It's like, dude, you moron.
I got Amish friends. I'd be up in the Amish community, man, as as a Swamish, like what they call the black Amish people, the Swamish. I had the beard grown out, and there would be a rap. You never know it's me. Let's get back to the.
Yeah, sorry about the aside, guys. Great.
I love shows like that and everything. I love because there used to be a show back in the day called like Man Tracker, where you would go out and you would run, and then this guy on the horseback, like Texas Ranger tracker, you go into the woods, and then you have like a 30-minute head start, and then he would track you, and if you could make it to the end before he caught you, and he'd be reading your footprints, and he was on horseback, but you were on foot.
Sounds like some Running Man shit, you know?
Yeah.
I'd watch. I hate to say, I totally watch the Running Man. That's John Haymaker jinx. You owe me a Coke, motherfucker.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we'll go back to it and everything. So that's my thoughts. I mean, put our little thoughts in there on Kodyak and everything else. That's how we
dead man walking.
Yeah, again, call in, man. We want to hear from you, man. Definitely hit the telephone line. Don't be afraid. We want to hear from you and hear your thoughts. You don't just have to text them and anything else. You know, you text them. Make sure you hit that thumbs up on your way in. We had over 75 people here at one point. You know what I mean? Which is up from what it was last week. So let's just keep it going and stuff. Make sure you call in if you want to hear about the frog orgy and everything else and all that. What about the cabin itself that they were in and burning down of the cabin? Because if this place is so far from civilization, how did somebody build that cabin there? Bring in the wood to build the cabin, you know, get it all sanded down the way it was. It wasn't like this was just some pop-up shit that they built, and they built amazing teepees. Listen, those teepees they built were amazing. But this cabin was furnished. This cabin had upstairs, downstairs, had a porch outside. Like, this is a luxury cabin.
It's like one of those mini houses that I'm going to end up in one day, Tony. You know, like one of those like tiny houses. I'm going to be on Tony's lawn, and I'm like, Tony, can I live in your lawn with a mini house? You know, that's is like one of those things.
Yeah, 100%. Then we got another round that says what Cody burnt it down. That's what we're trying to get to. We're going to get to this burning. It could have been Cody had burnt the cabin down. You know.
I hate to say it. I think we're done with the cabin. I don't think we're gonna hear anything
I don't
about the cabin
think
again.
that Cody burnt it down. This doesn't make sense for it to be him. Introduce him that early, and then all of a sudden it comes up that how's that come up that he burnt the cabin down? Why would he want to burn the cabin down? Because some chicks were living in it. You know, that doesn't seem like a reasonable enough answer to make him want to burn the cabin down. That if he spent all that time in there, because if he did and he's seen them in there, he could have just ran up on them. They weren't that feral then. You know, these chicks are feral now, but they weren't that feral then. He could have ran up on there right off the back and be like, "Hey, what's going on?" You know, and they would have been afraid of him, like, "Dude, get us out of here. We're stranded, please." And it would have been a wrap, and it would have saved them, and it would have been over. So it doesn't make sense to me that Cody, I don't even call him Cody, man. It's Kodyak.
Let's just call him what his mama named by. That's Joel McHale. It's Joel McHale playing Rambo, like it's a Hot Shots Part 2 kind of situation. He's doing the Charlie Sheen playing fucking Sylvester Stallone playing Tom Cruise thing. Like that's what he's doing. Let's like call a motherfucker. It's Joel fucking McHale wearing a Halloween costume. Tony, come on.
So they tried their best. They gave stars on him and shit. They really tried to tough him up, you know, as much as they could.
Sure they did.
They tried.
They tried is the key word in your sentence, Tony. Try. No, not successfully achieved.
You could put all those scars on Kramer. It wouldn't matter. He's still Kramer.
Exactly. You can do that shit. Not everyone's like Paul Rubens that can play Pee-wee and then play like a creepy motherfucker in something else. Like that's an actor, you know. Like Joel McHale is a comedian.
Yeah. Just Kevin Hart can't come in there and be a tough guy. Right? You can't. You're not fooling anyone, Kevin.
Maybe if it was what was that show, like Gulliver's Travels remake or something like that. But that would be the only situation.
Yeah, it's just not fooling anybody, Kev. It just don't work like that. It doesn't work for me and stuff. But, you know, I think that's his role. One thing we'll say is that, you know, the bag he had did not have his name on it. It had a distinct name. The last name, I forgot the first name, but the last name was the Asian name.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see that, watch Tony's video. Does a freeze frame on it at some point during the review of what the name was. But
yeah, the last name was the Asian name. So you have to assume. Oh, we got coming in here. This is 401. 401 is.
401 is close by in between us.
Jonathan.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon Fill the Issues guy.
Yo.
What's going on?
Oh shit, got through. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yo, quick question, right?
Who we talking to?
Oh, Jonathan from Rhode Island.
What's going on, Johnny?
I knew it was New England.
Yo, one of the things you were saying that you think that Hannah is the queen, right?
Yes.
All right. One thing about that, like, I can't. How can I say this? I don't really agree with it.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at the first episode, the first pilot episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like watching it right now. So you know, like all the shorties was in the sitting around the campfire and shit, right?
Yes, sir.
And one of the shorties had like cutting up the meat.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm sitting in that campfire and I'm seeing the queen right in front of me, right? And she got all the hairs in front of her. The hair, all like the strands of hairs and shit, right?
Mm-hmm. So
she got five strands of hair on her body. Mm-hmm. So last time I counted, there was like 13 of them left.
Mm-hmm.
When Lottie and them was like dancing and screaming and shit, and she killed that dude, right?
Yep.
So if it's 8 of them left, how can Hannah be the queen?
Well, seven gets saved. That's what they say, right? So
right, but with Melissa is 8.
All right, so they say 7 gets saved when they leave this place. If there's 7 who get saved, then she would be the 8th if she's the queen. That would make her the 8th, right? 8th person, the queen right there. So if you count how many people are all there, it would make sense if it was her. It also makes sense, again, we also got to deal with the pit girl situation, that someone's got to die from that situation too. You know what I mean? So they may not have.
If 7 got saved,
yep.
But like all the 7 characters was alive presently before after like Travis and Nat.
Uh-huh.
So that 8th person has to be Melissa.
So if they say 7 got saved, right? But there's 8 in the photo though, with them sitting there, right?
Right.
7 around the queen, right? There's 7, 4 on one side.
Yep.
So if you do that and you put a Hannah in there, right? You have Hannah up in there. Then Hannah dies. Then you have the 7 that are saved right there. And if you take
because it's Ty. It was Ty, Nat. Ty, Nat, Travis.
Uh-huh.
Ty, Nat, Travis, Van.
Yep.
Shauna.
Yep, that's 5.
Misty.
Yep.
Lottie.
Uh-huh.
That's 7 right there, right?
That's 7, but Melissa's also alive, and they think Melissa's dead.
Right. But you thinking Melissa?
If it's Melissa, right? So we'll say if, but I'm pretty confident is maybe you think that too. So that would be Melissa. Melissa would be there too.
Because you was thinking Hillary Swank was Melissa, right?
Yeah, Hillary Swank is playing Melissa. See, what I think happened, what I think's going on is that there's going to be multiple rescues. You know what I mean? Like the first batch of people get rescued, and then and they think the other ones aren't, and then that's how Melissa makes it back on like a second type of rescue. You know what I'm saying? So I think that maybe they think, you know, we've seen it before. Like they left Van to die. I'm gonna say twice, but they definitely left her to die once, and then she got eaten by the wolf. You know what I mean? They may try to pull some shit like, "Oh, Melissa, you're injured, you can't come back," or Shauna. You know, after Shauna takes out Hannah, she can't risk this chick coming back and dropping diamonds, so she does something to kill her and thinks she's dead, but in the end she winds up getting rescued also. So the group thinks that all those they died, but Shauna.
So who was the one? So who was the one that gave Shauna the phone? Remember she was tripping in the bathroom and shit. But she was with the date with her husband with the two rich dudes talking in the furniture place
when they were inside the restaurant.
Yeah. So that had to be Melissa then, right?
Yeah, I think 100% that's Melissa, because she knows exactly where she's heading. You know what I mean? And she's driving out there, as Phil we talked about earlier. She got rid of the girls. She was planning on going by herself. She didn't plan on taking the girls.
She's panicking in the car. Yeah,
you know, the girls forced her to take her, panicking in the car while they were talking about it. They brought, you know, the names up, Melissa's name up specifically, and she said she's dead. And then she gives a look like she knew she's alive, gets him out the car, and she goes out there. So you have to, I'm 100% confident that this is going to be Melissa in the end.
But the only thing that you said that Hannah could be that queen, because I'm looking at it right now, that queen is tall as hell.
Uh-huh. And Hannah tall as hell, taller than all of them. And if you look at the way Hannah's sitting in that chair, when they got her tied up, her hands are in the exact same position as the queen. The exact same.
I don't remember that.
If you go look at the queen is sitting there with her hands straight, both hands on the thing, like touching the sides of both her armrests and everything with that. Hannah's sitting in that position when they got her in there. And again, so you know, I think that it's a good possibility that it's Hannah. I think it makes it work for the show that it's her. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean she's making it back. I think that she will get taken out. But if they do the sacrifice,
she's definitely dying out there. Yeah. So that's like,
and I think that's how, like, after she gets killed, right? Shauna kills her. She may be on her deathbed or got, you know, choking on blood. She whispers to Melissa where the tape is, what the tape is. Please give it to my daughter. Let her know her mother loved her. Melissa runs off to find it. Shauna finds her digging the thing up, but she doesn't know that she's got the tape in her pocket. Shauna takes her out, thinks she's dead at that time. They get rescued, but then they find Melissa and she gets rescued after that. That gives her the tape and everything else. And that's
okay. All right. Yeah, that theory sounds, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because you said before, Ty said it was 7 that got rescued?
Yes.
That's what you said before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So that's it. Because if she killed her, listen, they already said, you know, you hear us, she said, we can still get rescued and leave no witnesses. But if Melissa flip on her and she feel like, oh, you know, she catches her digging up that tape, like, what is this that you're digging up? What is this? But she throw it in her pocket real quick. Boom, Shauna stabs her real quick. She thinks she's dead. They get rescued. They all leave. And they're like, what happened to Melissa? And they're like, oh, Shauna's like, oh, she died. She fell off a cliff. And then they just leave. And then they come back and they find Melissa on the second thing, stabbed up, but save her. And she got that tape on her. Then that's how she got that tape.
But there was one thing too, like when they was in the whip and shit, she was like, Ty was like, you know, Melissa and Jen is dead, whatever. But the way Shauna looked, the way Shauna kind of like looked, it didn't seem like nah, she's alive type shit to me. It was almost kind of like she was like listening to it.
100.
That's how I interpret it.
No, 100.
Say it again.
That they did that. I mean, it's a great acting, facial acting of the actress, but 100%. They did that on purpose. They give that look back and then that smirk of her cheek to let her know she knows she alive.
And the other one too, where Misty confronted Sean about killing Lottie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I feel like Sean is lying. You know how Sean be lying? She got this coy way of like totally disregarding what you're trying to say to her.
Mm-hmm.
She just got this way, like, kind of like downplay what you're saying. Like, that's why I know Sean's lying.
Yeah,
she definitely killed Lottie.
I just, you know, it's just too much. You're putting too much on her if you kill her. If you have her daughter kill her, then now you know.
Yeah, but how the fuck did Callie kill her, right?
Yep.
Then she try to. So where did Misty find that ticket? In the whip?
Yes. The ticket was in the whip, but Shauna didn't see it because it was in the back seat.
Oh, yeah, but how though? Because Callie tried to blackmail the mom to take Uber rides and shit.
Yeah, but if she took the whip or it's something went out there and Shauna's covering for her because she knows something's fishy about it, you know what I mean? Then there you go. Then you have her in the whip going past, and they just think it's Shauna because it's Shauna's car. But if it's the daughter,
that sounds crazy. That sounds crazy for Callie to do that shit, man. I don't know, man.
It does, but it also
wow.
it also makes the show. It makes the show work. You know what I'm saying? If it is,
it
makes the show work because they listen because they force feeding you that it's Shauna right now. Right, they get her DNA is underneath her fingernails, and she's got
it's too much.
They're giving you too much to put it on Shauna. But if it's the DNA matches the daughter, the DNA would be on the fingernails, right? And that would be it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I guess so, though. Well, that was my call, man. I'm loving what y'all doing, though.
Appreciate the call. Definitely call back.
Word.
All right, one.
All
right, Phil, how'd you feel about that call right there?
Good call. I must admit, I ran away for a moment or two, but definitely a good call. Good call.
100%. And listen, I agree with you saying. Listen, I do think that Hannah is going to be the antler queen. I didn't really get too much in there, but I explained it right there. I think that it makes perfect sense that she's the antler queen at that particular time. Makes more sense for her being the antler queen than the pit girl. Because there's no way that pit girl could be her. It's just
doesn't look like a pit girl.
She's too old to play the pit girl. She's too old to play the pit girl. And as the caller said, the antler queen's taller than all of them. She towers over those chicks. You can see when she's over there, she's much taller than every one of those girls. There's no one even close to her height in there out of all those girls that are playing there. You know what I mean? And the antler queen is taller than all of them. We got another call. People calling. There you go. This is 480.
From Jody.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon and Phil the Issues guy.
Welcome.
Hi, this is Jody.
What's
from Arizona.
From where? Arizona?
Yeah.
What's going on, Jody, from Arizona?
Well, I just ran across you guys last night. So I absolutely love your theory about Hannah being a mom figure. I can't believe I didn't think about that myself. That's brilliant. Because I am a mom, and I think even if you're a 30-year-old girl, you'd be wanting your mama after all that. So I think that's an awesome theory.
Thank you.
And especially about her being antler queen, I think that too. As far as Melissa is concerned, I hear you, and I think a lot of people are saying that. Personally, what I want to have happen is I want Melissa to go down because I'm so sick of hearing about her. But
if it's all right, if it's not Melissa, who would you think it is?
That's doing the stalking?
Yes.
I'm not sure. I still think that's up in the air. I think what happens with this show is that it's like a jigsaw puzzle, and they give us like a little piece, and we expect to be able to like fit that piece into the puzzle right away, and we don't have all the pieces yet. And we're still unfolding. We're only like halfway through the show, and there's like a lot more stuff they're going to feed us. So I'm just kind of like patiently waiting for more information because they're always twisting and turning. And so like with the end of the last episode, the one before when the Froggers showed up, everyone was immediately like, oh, okay, we know exactly what's happening now. But it's like there's more pieces to come. There's more stuff that's going to unravel. And as far as that look that Shauna gave when they said that Jen and Melissa were dead, I'm wondering too if that look was a look of guilt because maybe she like murdered them in cold blood in the wilderness.
Yeah, I think she thinks she did, but she realizes she didn't get away with it. You know what I mean? I think she attempted to kill her, but she knows that she's alive. She's been known that she's alive. And that's why she's looking that way. because she's
Yeah.
all the stuff like Mitzi. She says to her, she says, "You figured all this out," and then she was like, yeah, of course I can. I know how to Google." But the fact that
That seems suspicious too.
makes you think like, all right,
Of course
why,
I do.
why would you be able to figure this out? You figured this out because you already know. You know the deal. You know who this is. You know everything. You already know what his chick is. You know all this. It's all been happening behind the scenes and everything.
Okay, so I got a big question for you then. Why would Melissa wait? Like what Misty said, that's a really good point. Why would she just now all of a sudden be popping up? And then if Shauna,
go ahead.
If Shauna knew that, so if Shauna knows Melissa's alive and she gets this mysterious tape, she needs help, figuring out how to play it. But like if she knows Melissa's alive and this is a huge secret she's trying to cover up, Shauna's not stupid. She, got early admission into Brown. She could Google, she could find someone else to help her play that tape.
Yeah, so the tape, I don't know how much they knew about the tape till they heard the tape, or knew that it was really gonna be out there like that. As for her just holding it back, but
she knew it had something to do with the wilderness.
Yes, because she probably seen the DAT recorder, right? She probably knew that was a thing, because obviously the girl, the lady was Hannah had it when they first seen her there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, I think it's a possibility that she kills her. She whispers to Melissa, blah blah blah. This is where the tape is. Blah blah. Please play it for my daughter. Please let her know her mother loved her. Melissa goes, digs up the tape. It hides the tape, and Shauna finds the player. Right, but we don't get.
I heard somebody else too say that maybe Nat, her dying words or whatever, like Nat would be a good person to get that tape out, because Nat was so empathetic, and then also she would have been able to tell Nat, like, hey, do you remember where I surrendered to you guys? That's where it's hidden.
100%. Nat could definitely be it.
Yeah.
Too. And that would be a lot of
guilt. Because they were the only ones that were there when she surrendered. So
yeah, and that would be a lot of guilt that she's carrying, and maybe Nat passed the tape off to her, because they specifically said that Melissa got close with her. They said that she was close with Melissa. So Melissa has to have something to do with her. She got close to her. She started to care about her and stuff. And they took this woman out, and it probably hurt her that they did that to her. Like, that's a step too far.
Right. And I think the girl that everyone's saying how everyone's going to split up. And I think, your point about her being a mother figure is going to be really poignant, because there's going to be girls that are going to want that motherly touch. And then there's going to be the other girls that are still going to be ruled by the fear of Shauna. And Shauna's going to be rejecting all that motherly love, and she's going to be, just terrifying people.
Yeah.
And then Nat is like the voice of reason. She's always been like the logical one, the only like sane one out of the group.
Yeah, the logical one, or you could just say she's the log in the frog story, right?
Exactly.
Right? The boring one and stuff. But it's your mother and everything, and listen, them girls, they want a mother. They need a mom. And the fact that I said she gave herself up, she buried it. She could have buried it and hid there, and they wouldn't have found her. She came out and she gave herself up to him. I think that's the card she's gonna play, is that, hey, I could pretend or act like a mom to these girls, because that's
I think that's brilliant. And they tried so hard to lean on Coach, the only adult that they had, and he couldn't, he couldn't comfort them in any way, shape, or form. So they're in dire need of that.
Yeah, it's not the same, especially when you have one of the students who want to sleep with you. It's not the same for a male with a bunch of, it's not the same for a man and a bunch of women. When women, young girls, young ladies, they need that mother.
They need their mom.
They need
their mom. Exactly.
Yeah, that's exactly what Van, the first things out of Van's mouth when she seen that telephone is, I want to call my mom.
I know, that was so jarring.
That's what they're missing. They're missing their mom, and I think that she's that's the role she's gonna play. Yep.
And I think you guys are right too about Walter, that he's just a great character and like fun to see Misty playing with someone who's just as weird as her. And that's what I'm hoping anyway.
Yeah, listen. Everyone wants to connect dots here to there and give everybody a reason. But as Phil said,
and we don't have all the pieces yet. Yeah,
we don't. But as Phil said, Walter is us watching the show. He's
Yeah.
like, he's the
Yes.
character of us watching the show, trying to figure things out and do like we are.
Yep.
He's us on screen, what we would be doing. And he's actually Phil because he's in love with Misty. So he's actually Phil on screen.
That's awesome.
It's true.
I think everybody's in love with Misty at this point.
I hear no lies.
All right. Good talk.
Thank
But I
you.
liked her when she was Wednesday Adams, damn
Take
it.
care.
All right, take care.
Bye.
But Tony, I liked her before she was Misty. I liked her when she was Wednesday.
Did you like it when she was in Natural Born? Well, that was Natural Born Kill. Monster?
That was Juliette Lewis was in Natural Born Killers.
No, Monster.
Monster. I think the first thing I saw her in was
She's in Monster, right? With Charlize Theron.
What she?
She's a sidekick in Monsters, right?
I don't think I saw that. Monsters.
What do you mean? Charlize Theron won I think she won an Oscar for that, bro.
I don't think I saw it. Let me see if I saw that movie. Oh yeah, totally. I did see this movie. Totally.
That's what I first know her from. Is from Monster. That like when I know her, like I know her from Monster. She was in Casper, but like when she became an actress to me that I recognize is from that Monster.
For me, it's the Addams Family movies in the 90s, for sure.
And all that. Phil, you gotta hold it for a second. I'll be right back.
Absolutely. Let's open up the chat. Yeah, Whisper. She was in Casper, Addams Family, Mermaids. Oh yeah, Mermaids. Oh, you're gonna make me cry. I'm disappointing you. I saw KP. KP, you didn't disappoint me when I saw you the other night on the stream. You were laying out like a 70s porn star on the stream. It was beautiful. Addams Family, then Casper, Black Snake Moon, Melissa. She played the girlfriend. The characters are all my age, graduate school. Great actress, been at it for a long time, and that's one of the things about this show. All the main stars are really awesome. That's what was really great about having Juliette Lewis on the show, and obviously it's a little disappointed having her off of it now, but you know, her character went the way she needed to go. You know, the actress wanted to leave, so she got with both. They sent her off in a big giant way. So it's nothing we can do about that. But I do love Mermaids, and I miss Juliette Lewis. Her guest appearance in Netflix Wednesdays was awesome too. It's going to be cool to see if she shows up in the next season as well. But I really have loved these last two episodes of Yellow Jackets. I think the show is getting interesting. Season 2 got away from what is cool about this show, which is the mysteries and the weird interpretations, people acting crazy, and also the dark comedy of it all. She was in Prozac Nation. But I mean, every one of the main stars of the main group of this show really does hit a home run, even if some of the side stuff that pops up can be suspect on occasion. But all the performances, all the individual performances of all the actors on the show really do kind of keep this show together, even through season 2, which I didn't feel as much. It was still cool to see all the different characters, interactions, and such as well. Cape Fear is where probably the first thing I saw Juliette Lewis in. I think it might have been her first role. And it's one of those underrated De Niro roles if people haven't seen it. It's probably one of his best performances. And I don't say that lightly to say that Robert De Niro's best performance is in Cape Fear. And Juliette Lewis is one of her breakout performances as well.
Cape Fear was a good movie.
Yeah, it was one of the best remakes. I mean, there is an original version of it, but it doesn't compare to that 90s version. Yeah, that 90s version of it with Nick Nolte and De Niro.
To accept, press 1.
Okay.
To send
Hey, yo, KP.
Good evening.
Call back on Phil's. Phil, you got your line up? So
I don't. I gotta get it turned on.
Call Phil's line. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
give him 10 minutes or 5 minutes
All
to
right,
put it
cool.
on. Call that way he can hear you too.
Cool. Good done.
All right, one.
I was saying I checked out you guys on Julie B's. KP's sitting there like a 70s porn star, sitting back, with the shirt off, like, hey everybody, what's going on?
He was there like He's there like
Burt Reynolds, like
Dexter St. Jock.
Yeah, Dexter St. Jock. Carry this, like down by the beach. But he's like doing the Burt Reynolds, like lying sideways, This is great. It's great. KP.
100%. Mike, what were y'all talking about before I got
I was just babbling about some of Juliette Lewis's and Christina Ricci's awesome roles, and that one of the things that kind of bites you about this show, even if the storylines aren't great, like what got us through season 2 was the character stuff, and they kind of got back into what was going on. I was just stalling until you got back ultimately.
Yeah, Juliette Lewis was in what movie did you say she was in? It's Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born. Yeah, that kind of made her. I used
to always get her and Sandra Bernhard like confused.
It's funny that we see a Sandra Bernhard sighting on Severance, and
yeah, like I used to get her and her confused, even though Sandra Bernhard, I think, much older.
Yes,
she's been out for a very long time. But I used to always get those two confused. I always think they were the same person. 100% about it, because Sandra Bernhard was like with Richard Pryor and them acting when they were acting and stuff. I think she was on the Richard Pryor show back.
Yeah, I think they probably met doing stand up, because Sandra Bernhard I'm pretty sure got her start doing stand up.
And all that good stuff. All right, yeah. So back to the show going on. What haven't we covered? We got another half an hour. We're gonna rock with y'all.
Okay, so we talked about the Froggers. We talked about. Okay, let's see what KP has to say. But I think we've pretty much hit everything. Welcome to the show, KP. Oh, he hung up. I didn't do that hit, KP. We'll get him back in a second. But what haven't we? I mean, this episode, as for all the mysteries they did, this actually answered a lot, Tony. We got a lot of to your point of like the sounds of with the frogs. Like we actually got answers to what a lot of the stuff was going on. If we want to think about it a certain way, we know how close they are to, we have a sort of path back home here through this episode. Mm-hmm. This season's definitely sort of closed some interesting doors to kind of just get some shit done, Yeah,
because these guys aren't disappearing and no one's going to care about them. The bottom line is this. There were scientists that were there before them who left stuff there for them. They know where they went. So when these people don't come home, they're sending someone directly to that area and going to say, this is where they went. This is what they were going to do. And they're going to get found out just like that.
Whether it's a couple of weeks or a couple of months or something like that, whenever they were supposed to check in and send some findings or some shit, someone's going to come looking for those people.
Yeah. So we know that this is the reason why they get home. Again, we've seen the vision. The coach was the bridge home. Still would have got it. You didn't have to eat them. I mean, maybe you ate them to smell the barbecue. That's what got them over to you. So maybe that was the bridge there.
KP, welcome.
Good evening. Good evening to one and all. So I'm glad that the stream the other night was entertaining.
Oh, it was. It went right with the frog orgy thing. It was like you could just hear it. Oh yeah. It was killing it, dude. I was a fan.
I mean, sometimes you just have to do hippie activities in your hippie robe at very late hours in the night.
It was very the dude from Big Lebowski. You were very much like the dude. Someone peed on your rug. You're just hanging out. Yeah. Da 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 da. La 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 la. You're like the dude. You're like the dude.
Stressful. Sometimes you just need to just let it all hang out. Just but just release it onto the world. Just put it out there. Like I'd like the last episode of White Lotus. But anyways, Tony, what's up? What up? Hope all is well. I'm very, very new to Yellow Jackets. Very new. Mm-hmm. Since I saw that, we would apparently that we're watching it now, I kind of speed run through the a speed run up until episode 7, season 3. So there's some things that I've seen that make me like a little bit concerned, and then there's some things I see that I don't understand. So let me just ask. I have a couple quick fire questions, and tell me if it makes sense. So, question 1:
do we think that there's any significance to these Arctic banshee frogs? Like, is it because when I first kind of realized that was the song that everybody was freaking out about, I was it kind of gave me the idea that, okay, we are thinking that there's something supernatural here, but perhaps it isn't, because this is something that we definitely thought was supernatural, and it turns out no, it's not supernatural at all. It's just frogs having sexual relations. That's it.
All right, let's take that real quick.
I'm wondering,
Don't go to the next one.
Does that
wait, KP, wait.
I muted him. Go.
All right, we're gonna go for that one first. Do one at a time. So yes, I don't think there's anything significant. I think it was just to let you know that these chicks been bugging out here. That there is no wilderness. There are no crazy supernatural powers here. Everything can be explained away, and they explain the way the sound by the frogs, and that's all it is.
So you agree that a lot of these things that we see them seeing, we don't see the things themselves. We don't see things ourselves a lot of times. But a lot of times when they talk about seeing things and they see something and they interpret it as a supernatural thing, I think the frog thing was assigned to let the audience know. Yeah, all this stuff that they're talking about, saying, yeah, really see none of that. Like they were just going crazy. That's the vibe you're getting, right?
You're 100% right on that, brother. 100%.
Well, then it looks as though I have some good theories and good insight. So now with these new researchers, because I've seen a lot of people say, there's intense significance behind these researchers appearing out of the blue, but I think the researchers are kind of just a way home. That's basically it. Because somebody knows where these researchers are, and if they don't come back by X o'clock,
someone's coming to look for them. Yeah,
they're going to send people to find them, and by doing that, they'll obviously find the young ladies as well. Is that kind of, because I don't think there's any more significance to any. In fact, they're all quite disposable. Even the Joel McHale character, I think, is extremely disposable. The only reason that they kind of are in this story is to kind of give these kids, give these young ladies a plane ticket back home. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I agree 100% that it was just there just to give them a ride home. That's it. They get now you know how they're getting home, and that's what that was meant to show, and that's what they show. That you're gonna see now exactly. This is how they get home. Like, how are they gonna go home? Are they just gonna all of a sudden the people just gonna stumble upon them and they're gonna find their way home this way? No, they found the way because the people are gonna come looking for these frog researchers, and that's how they're getting home.
That I fully agree. I think that when I saw it, I was like, yeah, these people are not really any more significant except for as a plane ticket home. This is a kind of out of the, and Phil will probably resonate. This question will resonate with Phil more as a lost person. But something about this show makes me believe that it's a version of Lost.
Because they're on an island. That's why, KP. They're on a fucking island. And there's like smoke monsters and shit.
And I could say about From as well. It's like a version of From as well.
Well, at least that's a town. At least there's a town there, Like, I mean, I guess there's a town in Lost, too. Right.
So, but the point I'm making is, whereas Lost, the explanation for Lost got into a very spiritual, metaphysical, heaven and hell, everlasting
good and
life.
evil, good versus evil.
It got into that area where it's trying to deal with these large macro concepts, and I think what this show is intending to do is to turn that right upside down and be like, oh no, there's no overarching evil being or beings this is just the way. This is just what happens to people when they get desperate in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, like the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, The Beach. Like when the people just get trapped somewhere, eventually they just go a little nutty and they start like freaking out a little bit.
Yeah. And so why I compare it to Lost is because of that little distinction I think we will see at the end, where when it plays itself out, we'll realize that there was nothing supernatural about this. There's no overarching macro, good guy, bad guy, good force, bad force. Really, it's just a story about when people go feral, when people are out of civilization and they have to rely on their senses, their strengths, their agility, and so on to eat and stay alive and survive another day to hopefully be rescued and so on and so forth. That changes people in a particular way, and that even if those persons come out of that situation, they are still permanently changed. So I can't remember the young lady's name, the woman's name, but the woman that accidentally killed the person in I think it was the last episode of season 1. Like people call it, I don't call it an accident at all. I think that she really meant to do that shit. What does that resonate with any of you guys? Does that make any sense at all? It was
that you really tried, that they really tried to kill who?
In the last episode of season 1.
Oh yeah, right.
The lady, but there was a killing, but it was supposedly an accident, right?
Yeah.
And even though, yes, I saw it was an accident, I think that deep down inside, that young lady whose name I can't remember, I think it's Shauna.
Yeah, Shauna.
I think that, yes, it was an accident, but like she really legitimately did want to kill that person, or she had a desire to kill. And
you're talking about Jackie's death?
No, he's talking about when Shauna killed the dude who everyone thought was Harvey.
Oh, the dude she was
having an affair with, yeah.
Yes, that guy. Yeah. So I think that was kind of showing us that these people got accustomed to doing things like this. Like killing somebody is not something that they have a problem with. Killing somebody, hiding the body, cutting the body up, whatever it is something that, because they've had to do it in the wild to survive, now it's kind of second nature and it doesn't bother them at all. Because that's one thing I don't see, at least from this particular character. I don't see her regretting or feeling bad or feeling less human, less human or less humane after doing some of these things that she's done. I don't think it triggers or it shakes her ethical compass whatsoever. I think she is really her ethical compass, and of course for most of these women now, is survival, and whatever gets you to survival is the thing that you do.
But I think KP, I think I agree with you. That's what the survival, and with so many of them, it's based survival. But I think Shauna has a little bit of a different gear. She's more. She was a little psychotic before she even left. I think she was starting to have, she's not the most, I think she might have done some fucked up shit, whether they went to this island or not.
Yeah, even when she left, even, before the plane crash and whatnot, we kind of see that she was always kind of a little bit of a bully.
Yes.
So yeah, she's a little bit different, but not that much different from anybody else. Yeah, she's not that much different. Like, yes, she would probably be more inclined to commit a murder, for example, but none of these women are beyond that now. None of these women would look at a murder as, oh my God, I'm not doing that. No. If that's what it takes for them to survive a situation, if that's what it takes for the woman to the young lady that is going up for office, if that's what it took for her to win the election, oh yeah, she'll do a murder. She'll do 5 murders. No big deal. And I think that's kind of like the when I look at these TV shows, especially after binging it, I think that's the message that I kind of receive, is that beware, because you think you're a good person, but beware that when you are put in bad situations, you will probably turn into a person that you probably don't realize is not that good of a person, but is no longer as good of a person, or is bad.
You become a product of your environment, right? That everyone knows that. No, if you're in your environment, you become a product of it. The person that you are is not the same person that you become depending on your circumstances. Again, we could look at Orange as the new Black, and if you go from Piper when she walked in to when Piper left out, she's not the same goddamn Piper, right? See, you had to become who you became because of the environment she's around.
Yeah, totally, Tony. They even brought in another character, So at some point to show that was more like Piper when the first show first started, to show you how much Piper had changed. They did the same thing with Oz with Beecher, like when Beecher first shows up to when he leaves and stuff like that.
Still, Anna Beasy that's the worst scene ever on television.
Which one?
The Anna Beasy. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, the last scene, the Adebisi and Saeed scene.
Yeah, the headphones and everything. God damn it.
The thing with the mafia boss, the mafia boss son, and him and like that. Yo, like people, when I think about like a nightmare situation, that's what I think about. Like,
Shabetta.
That room with this little Italian boy who's supposedly some kind of mob boss. But in this situation, all he is in this situation, however, is a little Italian boy that Adebisi is going to take advantage of. And that to me, that's way more nightmare fuel than the Antler Queen or any of these like, you know, Cthulhu type cosmic evils. And I think, which is probably why I kind of which is why I had a kind of instant attraction to the show, when I kind of realized, especially with the Banshee Frogs thing, when I kind of realized that most of these things, I don't think there's anything supernatural here.
Give me some teats. I need teats.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing that they're doing. I think they could have went the route with supernatural, but it's unbelievable. And again, they show you everything is explainable. You can see the tie. Tie has psychological breakdowns and everything, and there's no two ties. I mean, there are two ties, which is a sleepwalking tie and a regular tie. You know, that's not supernatural. That's just what's going on. They try to play it in the first, season that if possible, that the wilderness could be talking to him, because you're hearing these sounds and these screams. And wait a second. But in the end, they also showed you the girls taking the drugs and taking the mushrooms and doing all that. So they let it be known that, that stuff. When you hear sounds like that and you're on mushrooms, you might believe anything.
Yeah, I did.
Going on.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if you hear about people that have taken DMT or ayahuasca or whatever, or, some of these other very intense mind-altering substances that you can just magically randomly find one day in the middle of a forest in the Amazon. Even the frogs that they take, the frogs that they secrete the thing that, I think it's something close to DMT. We've seen it a lot. We know it in real life that there are substances that can alter your mind forever to a place where you don't understand.
Well, anyone could take a bad hit and mess your mind up forever. It's not this, like, at any time, any hit that you take. I know a guy that had took it, this dude Breezy Acres. I think his family he had a lot of money. It's either has something to do with him with the yo-yo. I know that, or his mom was someone who invented the paper brown bag. He's from New York, from upstate New York, and gave it to his dad to take it to whatever, something like that. But he made a lot of money. His family made a lot of money from one of those inventions. And he took it, and everyone said he was in college, he was this great science guy, and he took a bad hit of acid. And if you see him now, you would never think he was what people say.
Yeah,
he was before.
I have a friend that I mean, we could tell a whole bunch of stories, but there was a kid I knew in high school that was a total normal dude. We were hanging out in a room, just busting balls and talking shit. And we were all tripping, and he was perceiving the conversation way different than everybody else. And he pulled out and wrote a letter and dropped out of college and screwed his whole life up and moved to weird places and did weird stuff that I don't have to get into. But it can happen just from a way that you perceive a moment.
100%. No doubt. So KP, just in case somebody else wants to call them, we're going to get you out of here. We're going to get you out of here, KP, because we got in case.
Enough with some people. I shouldn't say friends.
Okay,
With some
KP.
people I know, some people I went to school with. That
Hey, brother. All right, brother. We got other people that want to call. We gotta get them on. We're getting out of here soon. So
listen, no problem. You guys have a great night. And I'll watch you on the TV. So
all right, brother. 111. That's a great KP. You know, and if you didn't see it earlier, Phil, you weren't here, but Miss Duncan the Tall is going to be joining us every week for the Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Oh, that should be awesome.
Yeah, she's going to rock with us every week, so we have an expert on the books.
Is that the scene you're talking about, Tony?
No, I don't want to see it. Get it away. Get it away, man. Get it away.
Okay, we'll get the O'Reilly brothers up there instead.
We don't want to see that. Just go like KP, please. That is what it is. Yeah, definitely call in. We got a little bit longer to go and stuff, so definitely call in. Call Phil's number in and stuff, and we definitely want to hear it. Definitely. Is that you, Phil?
Yeah.
That's selfish love.
Selfish love.
I gotta run. Wait, so it's good timing. Well, was that slow motion or was that me?
Tick. Press 1.
Hello?
Hello, how are you? Yeah, I
Can you hear me? I'm good.
I'm glad to hear from you. What's going on?
Hi, it's Janae from the chat.
What's going on, Janae?
Calling in. Nothing much. There was a couple of things like I haven't heard anybody talk about from this episode.
Let's go. Talk about it.
So Shauna straight up lied about looking up this daughter. Like I don't know where she's getting this daughter thing from at all, because she just didn't have time to make these calls.
All right. So you think Shauna lied about that?
Shauna lied about everything.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, but I don't think. And then, like, think about it. If you found this girl, you've never been to her house before, you just found out about her 30 minutes ago, and you're just going to drive to Richmond, Virginia, and you never turn on the GPS.
Yeah, listen, 100%. Shauna know who this is. That's why, to me, it's got to be Natalie. It makes no sense for me to be anyone but Natalie. She knew the deal. She knows the deal. The look she gave in the car when they said that Natalie was dead was obvious that she knew that she wasn't. And it can't be. It can't be anyone else. And you're not going to bring in Hilary Swank to play Mari, who's not been on the show that much. You're going to bring in Hilary Swank to play someone who they've been featuring, so that when she comes on,
to play Melissa, they've been focusing on her and had the biggest effect on Shauna.
Exactly. And I don't know what ethnicity Mari is, but Hilary Swank could not be.
Yeah,
Mari.
She white. Right? She white.
And Mari's not.
Yeah, Mari's
not. She
not.
give me a little bit of Filipino or something. She got a little season on her.
Yeah.
Mari, I feel like they keep hinting to Mari being the pit girl, the way they keep amping up. Like every episode, Shauna is picking on Mari, and when Shauna don't like you, your days are numbered.
It's a good chance that Mari is pit girl, and if it is, then listen, people called that from season 1, right? So
yeah,
you could pay that off by making her pit girl, and then you can make Hannah the antler queen, and be good. Because it could be chopped up. We don't know how much of it is actually in order. You know what I mean? Like it shows that they like. It seems like they're eating pit girl, right? That's what it shows. Like you see them dragging the body, to hang the body up. They slit it. It shows like it. But what if it's not pit girl? What if it's Kodyak that they're eating at that time? And they just making it look like it's pit girl in that situation, but it's really Kodyak that they're eating right now and stuff, because again, they seem to like man meat more than women meat from what we've seen. That's meat they choose.
It's the extra sausages.
That's true, because the women have only been accidental deaths.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know. With Shauna saying like we should have ate Mari first, and then I don't know if anyone caught this, but in the very opening scene of this season, Mari is wearing a white dress over some tights, and it looks a lot like the white dress that the pit girl wears.
Yeah. It's a good chance. And as Sean is saying, we should eat Mari first. She got no meat on her bones. You ain't getting a lot of meat off Mari. All right, there's not a lot going on. Like if you're gonna eat someone, you want to eat someone a little healthier. You know what I mean? A little something on them and stuff. And so, but I do think that the best case scenario is that it is Mari. That is the pit girl when it's all said and done.
I really hope that it's Mari. I really do. That sounds bad, but I really do hope that it's Mari.
Listen, I think that you and a lot of people who said it from season 1 are going to be right in the end. I mean, someone in the comment just said that it was somebody else who the pit girl. Tommy says Jen is the pit girl. And
but they hint to Jen coming back, though.
Huh?
They hint to Jen coming back.
You know, he have to call in. This is what Tammy. I'm sorry, Tammy needs to call in and drop the theory, and then we could deal with it. Well, I need to know exactly why she feel this way, of why she feel that is. And that's Jen's a pit girl, so I need to hear her out. But you know, Mari does seem to be the likely person of who it's going to be.
Yeah. I'm definitely rooting for that. And then like the Van thing kind of just pushed my theory that Van started the fire when she sets older Van's bed on fire.
Listen,
but yeah.
You know, as they were saying, Game of Thrones, people red hair, kissed by fire. She actually was kissed by fire, and she could have some type of fire fetish that, you know what I mean, that these chicks left me to burn. I'm burning them.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a situation like that. And if she's at that point where she feels that she can't die, shit, I'll set all these bitches on fire. I can't die anyway. So I need to go back and look at the episode and see who was the first person out. Because if she goes, come on, Ty, let's get out this house, and they get out first, then she definitely did.
I still think it's Travis.
She gets out last. She actually gets out last. But I did rewatch this entire season. And from the very beginning episode, she's been the one pushing for Coach to be, you know, the guy who set the fire, because she sits down with them and she does this story time. And then there's a scene where she's with Ty in the woods. They're going to go do some target practice. And Ty turns around and she's like, I mean, or Van's like, you do think he did it, right? And Ty's like, well, who else could it be? And she kind of makes this face like, it's me, but y'all eat me if you know the truth.
And she has no dirt on her hands. Like everyone we've seen on this show has some type of dirt. She really is clean when it comes to this, so she would have had to do something to put some dirt on her hands.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's done something, you know, except for Van, and she just can't be that likable. Not out there with them, not surviving with them, making it to the end.
Yeah, you got to get a little messy out there.
100%. You got to get messy in this business.
Yeah, but I do kind of have this one idea that maybe, because if Melissa knew about the kid, because I don't think it's a daughter, she knew about the kid. What if Melissa kind of finds this kid and I don't know how, because Hannah's less than 10 years because she's in her undergrad, right? She's doing an undergrad study with the frogs. So she's a few years older than them. And so what if Melissa finds this kid and kind of, you know, they grow up together, or whatever, marries her, whatever.
It would depend how old they put this kid at. I have to think she's older than that. Then she's a few years older than them, even though undergrad or not. I mean, even if you look at the guys that she's attracted to, Kodyak is definitely in his 45, if not older. The guy she's with, It looks like he's 45, 46, if not older.
Yeah.
So maybe she's a little younger than them, but I gotta put her at like 40 years old.
Okay. Well, then what if Melissa links up with this girl, like finds her, and you know,
Yeah,
kind of just befriends her in the long
yeah. I've
run.
heard someone tell me that Callie was really her daughter.
Yeah, I
Callie is
heard
the
that.
daughter, and she's been
No,
raised. I was like, what? How
No.
does this happen? Where did that come
no,
from? I was like, how Shorty ain't raising nobody? I think Shorty all of a sudden killed this.
mm-mm.
I'm gonna take your daughter and get her out of Canada and bring her back, and all of a sudden just able to raise her, convince Jeff that's his kid this whole time. No.
That's a lot.
That would
That's
be
a lot.
strange. That would be so weird.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's a lot.
She's too selfish for that.
Yeah, and it's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. People, another round says 40. I was thinking 30s. I know. I think people think that people are younger than what they actually are in life. I think that happens all the time. Like people think, that people are older, younger than what they are. This dude, right? This Kodyak, this dude's probably 50 in real life. He's probably 50.
Oh.
Yeah, he's probably 50, this actor right here, and playing 40. Because what are all these yellow jackets that what are they? They're in their late 20s, right?
Joel McHale is 53, Tony.
Exactly.
And the actual actors, yes.
Yeah, and this, like I said, this guy, Phil just said this guy is 53 years old right here. Right?
Yeah.
So I think people always downshift people because people look younger nowadays. It's not the same. You know what I mean? It's not the same as like Sherman Helmsley was like when he played George Jefferson, he was 40 years old. He looked like he was 60.
Ralph Macchio was 75 when he did the Karate Kid, Tony.
he was
Ralph Macchio
old.
was 75 years
But,
old when he did Karate Kid 3.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The frog thing, the frog noise kind of threw me for a loop because they had me for a second. I really thought it was some noises when they heard that baby crying.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah,
I just want to bring up that point that I don't think Shauna can make.
Yeah, the frog thing was I like that they did it that way because no one would have thought it. No one could have figured that out and everything.
No, I wouldn't have guessed in a million years. And I rewatched dang near the entire show every new release.
Listen, I hear you. I got to go back and rewatch some episodes too, depending on what the next episode is. But I think I got the next episode pretty well mapped out in my head, so we'll see exactly how it falls into place.
Yeah. I mean, it's gotta be Melissa because even just stopping to buy a knife that looks somewhat like the one that Melissa gave her, like why would you do that if you're going to go meet this daughter you've never met before?
Yeah, and I did, and in my video I said that I thought the sheath was the sheath that Melissa gave her, and she was bringing it, and I was wrong on that. It was a brand new knife that she bought, but I still think it's similar. It's similar to that, and that's what it was. You know what I mean? Like I had a prediction. I was wrong, but I was on it. Like it was like the right path that I was going down towards Melissa because of that.
Yeah, and they made it a point to put that big old orange sticker on it. Like this is not the same one. But then why would they bring anything back from the wilderness either? That's kind of
you would think
you don't want people to know what you were doing.
You would think you bring something that's personal to you back, just because of the experience, and the sheath would be something like
not the murder weapon.
Melissa might have that sheath. You might see her pull that sheath out and throw it at Shauna and say, "Oh, you want to stab me with that knife? Here's a better sheath for you," and give her the sheath or something like that.
She'll do the Karate Kid, the Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Crazy. I definitely want to see that interaction though, because they built that up a lot.
Yeah, and you're waiting and you're waiting until the last couple of episodes to show us, so it has to be very important. I just hope they don't do her in quick. You know what I mean? I hope that they do her in like I hope she come back next season. I don't want to get
yes.
I don't want to.
Yes, next season I kind of want them to do like the when they come back from the wilderness type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, they said that'd
be great.
I think the directors and the showrunners said they wanted to do at least one season of when they got back.
Okay.
They wanted to do at least one season of that. So maybe if they said they planned for 5 seasons altogether, and they wanted to do at least one season when they got back. So hopefully this is that, right? So if they could pull that off. I hope this isn't the last season of it.
I hope not, because it's too good. And I really hope that this episode Jeff gets some cojones on him. Because the way Shauna just be talking to that man crazy.
Yeah, but the way he threw that phone in that trailer, like something's up. So it's either showing of his daughter that he's mad at. He threw that phone like he found something on the phone, watched the phone, and didn't like what he's seen and threw it.
I think it's Shauna.
Okay. I must have missed that part. I have to rewatch that.
Yeah, if you watch the trailer, go watch the trailer, you'll see him. It's a real quick shot. He just throws the floor. He's really upset. And he just smashes against the floor and stuff. It's a blue case, I do believe, like a light blue case on the phone.
Then that would be Callie's phone.
Yeah, then he found something on
the blue case.
He found something on.
Maybe Callie. It's the recording.
It could be the recording or something else. But
yeah,
but it's on that.
He definitely
phone.
Still has it.
Yeah, it's on that phone. He smashes the phone on the floor.
Yeah. But my thing is how did Callie figure out so fast that these froggers were here? But it's been 25 years and nobody else figured this out.
You know, you can look at it as a best way I could say would be like as a video game that you played over and over and over again, and you're stuck in one spot and you can't figure it out. But then somebody who just comes in and never played the game could just say, "Hey, try this," and look at it with fresh eyes, and all of a sudden they figure something out.
Yeah, beginner's luck type kind of thing.
So it could be a situation like that with her where, no one's been looking at it as hard as they've been trying to look at it. And she just comes in here with the vigor of a young girl trying to figure something out, and boom, and she got it.
Yeah, because she got a little too quick for me. She might be her mama's baby for real.
Yeah, if she killed Lottie, she is.
Oh, I don't want her to have killed Lottie. I really want to protect her innocence.
Yeah, that's gone. She already dumped that stuff on them people. She ain't innocent. And her mom was all about it. Mom didn't scold her for it. Mom was like, "Yeah, I like this. Play it again."
Yeah, and she did almost try to kill Lottie the first time.
Mm-hmm.
When Lottie I don't know what Lottie's obsession with Callie got to be after that, but she definitely.
And again, Lottie was trying to apologize about something in the mirror. So who is she going to be apologizing to? It make more sense.
I thought she was apologizing to the girl with the piercings in her face. The one she gave the $50,000 to.
Yeah, no, I don't know that. I don't know if she apologized to her for that. I think it's somebody more. It makes sense to be that girl, but it could be Callie. Maybe because that's why when she saw Callie, she kind of had that eerie feeling towards her. She tried to kill her mother. Right? I mean, she's gonna kill her mother.
Yeah.
Callie seen it. She knew that,
True. But Hannah got some crazy eyes. I think she gonna fit in real good with the girls.
she has crazy eyes, or she's scared to death.
No, she got some crazy eyes. Something ain't right.
Yeah, listen. Start eating some of that man meat. She might be on about it.
True, because I don't know if you read the obituary. Her life was very boring, and to think because she kind of looked like she got this wild side to her, the way she looks at Cody, and then she get out in this wilderness with these girls, and they free and doing whatever they want to do. She got all these kids. They done took her baby. She'll fit right in with them.
She might. Mm-hmm. I think she's gonna be the antler queen in the end. That's my prediction. I think that she is. I think she's gonna be her.
That'd be a good twist. Yeah, but I like what y'all got going on here. I didn't know you were doing these call-in shows. Now I got to tune in every week.
Oh, I appreciate it. That's what we got this. That's what we got the phone line for. It ain't just about Phil and I. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, I like some of the theories that everybody's putting out, though. It gives you to see what everybody else is, thinking and how they interpreted things.
Yeah, it's great to see how everyone could watch the same show but come up with different things.
Different opinions, different vibes, things different ways.
And I think they kind of do that on purpose because, even playing the tape, they never play it all at once. So they give you a little bit here and a little bit there, and it kind of distorts how you interpret it.
That's good. Good writing. Good show writing.
Oh, yeah.
You can't give everybody everything all at once. You got to give them a little tease here, a little tease there. Tease is always the way to go.
Yeah, and definitely the way they shoot the camera angles, like the show is genius. It's a breath of fresh air because
You know, I would say is I think that they got it this year, right? So the first season, I thought they did a good job. I thought they lost their way season 2, but this season, especially as Phil talked about a little earlier, these last 2 episodes, they are really hitting their stride. You know, and usually when shows blow up, from what I've known, it's season 3 that blows.
Yeah, they're finding their voice. Like they're fitting into this, like these 3.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it being season 3 to really put it on the map. Because I've been telling everybody, like, y'all gotta watch this show. You'll never believe what's going on in this show. But yeah, and of course, adding it to Netflix should help.
Yeah, because you know, listen, you have a gimmick in season 1. You're gonna have, you know, Lord of the Flies. You know, girls are gonna be eating people, so you have the gimmick. So the gimmick's going to get people to watch it in season 1 because you want to see that. But then it comes down to, can you get past that gimmick and actually provide a really good show on top of that? And I think that these last episodes particularly have proved that, yes, they have a plan going forth. I mean, when Game of Thrones was on before it blew up, the producers said, we can just get to the Red Wedding. If we can get to the season with the Red Wedding, we'll be able to catch them. And that's what they did. And then that's when the show blew up.
And then they lost interest.
Yeah. And then they messed it up in the end. Please do not mess up the end.
We're not even, she didn't even hear me. She's agreeing. Yep.
That is the biggest fumble in TV history.
Well, it's happened. It's their fault because they were bored of doing the show. And I'm not going to say it was wrong. They should have passed the show to showrunners who wanted to do the show. They had another deal with HBO that they had a show that what if the Confederates won the Civil War, and they really wanted to do that show, and they wanted to get past this show to put that show out. So that was their motivating factor, just to get done with the show and do that show. But HBO eventually canceled that show on them because of the backlash that people complained about. They didn't want to see that on television, and HBO canceled the show. So they never actually got a chance to do that show. But that was their motivation of getting off of Game of Thrones, that they wanted to move on to this project.
And the Star Wars thing too.
Yeah, they could have just kept that last season. They could have kept that all together.
Yeah, it should have been 1 season.
Yeah. But I'm gonna let y'all go so y'all can get some more callers in. I don't want to take up any more of y'all's time.
Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. Definitely call back.
Of course.
All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
You too.
But yeah, Tony, I think these last 2 episodes really have sort of found this show's voice and where it fits into this. I think we're in a moment where we have 3 really good mystery box shows going on right now at the same time for different ways. Like all 3 of them are awesome in different ways. And
I think 4. I think 7 Bodies in the Mexican Morgue is really good. I'll be right back. That's a really good show if people haven't watched.
I will definitely have to check that one out as well. But of course, with Severance and From as well, this show really came to play this season, and I can't wait to see how this season concludes, because I do think they built up some excitement. I mean, I don't know if if they're going to keep going up each episode, like the next episode's going to keep this pace, or we reach sort of, our peak in these last couple of episodes. Either way, this was a fun season, and I'm excited to see how they conclude it. When are we going to do a Soprano stream? Matt and I were talking about that very soon. I'm trying to figure out how to do that properly, because I want to make sure I don't get flagged for playing it in the background. But pretty soon, sometime the next month, Matt and I will be doing a Soprano stream. I take back my theory on Van being the murderer, says Glue Guns and Roses. Welcome to the show. I think it may be Walter or the daughter of the frog chick. Walter, very much. I mean, my instinct is that Walter's just, that dude, as we were talking earlier, but Walter very much could be sketchier. I think that's the cool thing about this show, because of the nature of it and the wackiness of it. It does give you an anything's possible situation. Oh,
Glue Guns and Roses in the building. She came out of nowhere. Glue Guns. I take my theory on Vance being the murderer. I take back my theory on Vance being the murderer. I think it may be Walter or the daughter of the frog chick. I don't think there is a daughter of the frog chick. I don't think I think there is, but I don't think she's the murderer. I don't think that's the murderer. I think the murderer is Callie. It's gonna be Callie. It's gonna be Callie. I'm going with Callie on this one. This is what it's gonna be. Callie's the one who's did it.
I think it's as good of a guess as any. I'm gonna go with Hillary Swank.
All right,
Melissa
is the murderer. It's a good chance that's Melissa. I'm gonna go with Callie. That Callie did it. I think that's the way it's gonna go. When it's all said and done, I think that makes the most sense for the story. To bring it in there, Carla Way.
I wouldn't be surprised. Now that I didn't think about that, so I'm not going to just jump on board the train right now. My instinct was that it was Melissa, but you guys that are saying it's Callie make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Carla Way from the Land Down Under. I've been watching Traders Australia. And I like that host. I like that guy. I like
good.
That.
The Australia one is really awesome.
It is. It's a little more like low budget, it seems like, than these other ones. I think maybe that was the first one that came out.
And it's normal people, not celebrities, so it makes it kind of like more interesting.
The way they like it just seems more low budget. I go giving away the bars of silver. It's great. I like that.
Yeah.
But it just seems like when you look at the things they have to do, it doesn't have the same like finish as these other shows and stuff. And I only did one season of it, so I don't know if it was started there in Australia and everyone else took it and then made it a little bit better and stuff.
I think the British one was the first one, but I'm not positive.
Oh, but yeah, I like the Australian people accent. I do. I just like these accents. I like the English one. I just love that they say bloody all the time, and it's just like and it's words they say like when they're voting for someone. They're like, "I'm voting for yourself over there, Bill. Hey, Bill, I'm voting for yourself over there." Like I've never heard that before. I never heard someone say, "I'm voting for yourself" when they're talking to somebody else. It makes sense, but I never heard it. So yeah, I just like hearing everything. Like, I'm not bloody. I'm a bloody faithful. What do you think?
I'm gonna get the ick.
I don't understand the whole bloody thing. I think you can just throw bloody in anything to emphasize something, right?
Yeah, it's like around where I live, people say wicked for that same word. It's wicked cool. It's bloody cool. It's at least, or California people or California 90s people with the hella. Like, that's hella cool. That's hella hecka cool. That
because the good thing about bloody is like it's accepted through the whole nation. Like,
they also the free use of the C word, as Carla said. I was about to say that, but I'm glad she said it first. They also like the liberal use of the C word with the like unt, not in like a hot, like a unt, like a lovable, and even like a friendly way of saying you're a lovable unt. Like
like bloody and wanker. Like it doesn't matter if they're 90 years old, they all say it. Like, like there's certain words like, black people are going to say it, people down with, and there's certain words are other, but it's like, that's like a nation across the nation. Like, you got your goddamn wanker.
Yep.
You're a bloody wanker, aren't you? Like, they can say these things and it's all good, and it's like throughout the whole culture. And that's
Tony, throw in a C word too, and you'd fit right in. Like, throw in a few C words, throw in the few unts, and you're good. You're good.
Yeah. I remember I was real pissed off when someone was running that shit with Christina the Sphinx, that one dude.
Oh yeah, but my good buddy Johnny,
yeah, Johnny. I was like pissed. I was ready to strangle Johnny.
Johnny's a lot.
I was ready to strangle.
I'm still waiting for my shirt, Johnny. I won a trivia contest 3 years ago. I'm still waiting for my damn prize, asshole.
All right, let's get up out of here. We've been over here for over 2 hours.
Yes, Doc. I am.
All right, people, listen. Thank you for joining us. I will be back and everything else. Make sure you subscribe to Philly Issues Guys channel. Make sure someone please drop the link in the description. Phil the Issues Guys channel. Make sure you subscribe to Phil the Issues Guys. And we got.
I meant to click on next week. I'll do the dual stream so we can get some cast an extra net out there to grab some more people.
So we'll do the dual stream on Phil's channel next week so that way we can get people over there, and we'll get that going on there.
And these will live until the end of the season. We'll be on Tuesday nights, so make sure you come on Tuesday nights 8:30 Eastern time to check it out. Set your fucking reminders, dudes. There's my Boston. You want to see it? There it is. There's the Boston. Set your fucking reminder, dude. Fucking A, dude.
Yeah, get that popping and everything else. We'll see you. What you got coming up on your channel, Phil?
Going to be doing some Last of Us coming up soon. I have confirmed with Joe he is coming out of his temporary retirement to do Last of Us stuff. So we'll be popping on that pretty soon. It's coming back sooner than I fucking thought. And at some point in the next couple of days, my cousin Alan, who's been coming by, and we've been having some fun conversations. We're going to go live during the day and do some weird tier list thing and talk a little bit about the Severance finale. And I want to talk to Tony at some point about the Severance finale too, because I'm curious about your thoughts on that.
I'm just mad about that. I didn't see it, and I should have seen it. Like, I just like upset with myself. Like, it was so obvious.
Yeah,
that would happen.
I didn't see it either. I didn't see it either, Tony. They got me at the end there. Like,
it doesn't make sense that I didn't see it. I should have seen it. Like, it's so obvious that was what was going to happen at the end. That it's just, I feel stupid that I didn't see it, because it was just, I don't know how I didn't see. I should have seen it and put a video out on it and everything else and all that. As Carla Way say, what a bloody ripper of a stream, lads. That's what I'm talking about. Give us all that, all that overseas stuff. We like that stuff over here. We like all that stuff, 100%. See, I thought bloody was a bad word. Bloody is not a bad word. It's a good word over there. Like, they just throw bloody at everything.
Very bloody.
It'd be 90-year-old grandmothers. It's a bloody mess. It doesn't matter. The Queen of England could say. They all can say bloody.
I love that bloody Tony Teflon.
It's a word.
Marvelous.
It's not slang. That's the whole thing. Like, the bloody is. It's not slang. It's just a regular word.
It's
like,
just part of the lexicon.
Yeah, it's just not. That's just what it is. All right, people. If you like the way we do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the room, and of course, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay safe.